Hello, hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully well. First things first, how do I sound? I have gone through a lot today. Hey Foxy, how you doing? I know today's like an unusual day to stream, so I'm not expecting everyone to be here today, but I still want to be able to, start off early and let y'all know what's happening, regardless of how many people are actually here. So first things first, I am currently in a new place because I am dog sitting for the week, while also having the busiest stream week I think for the entire year that I've done. So I have like a little hidey hole set up, and I am sitting on my luggage with a pillow as a seat currently. And so I have moved my entire setup to a new location, including but not limited to plugging in my new like a LAN cable and everything. And as I was literally I tripped over the cord and it broke the LAN cable out of my computer. I was so upset, dude. I was losing my mind. I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to finish everything that I want to finish, which is true. I didn't have time to finish what I wanted to finish, which sucks because it looks unprofessional. It really does. But we're here, and that's what matters, right? So I mean, it looks like the connection's all good to go, at least for the most part. Everything's coming through. Hopefully the sound is also, music's also going through. But basically what I kind of wanted to go over, I'm wondering if I want to sit on it just a little while longer and wait for more and more people to trickle in, because like it's an important announcement, right? And I think it's super exciting. So I think what it would be good is to hold on a second while people are getting on, and I try to like figure out how to go about doing this. Let's see here. Hey Ratty, how are you doing? Hopefully well. Thank you for joining me here today. I was gonna give a few more minutes to see if we can, if any more people are gonna trickle in before I make the announcement. I think you're gonna be really excited for it. I think you in particular are gonna be really excited for it. But I just need to make sure that I'm doing this correctly, because this is the first time I'm ever doing something like this. So it's yeah, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in a moment. Okay, but I just wanted to just let that simmer for a little bit. I know. I believe this is how it's going to work. I think. Or I am gonna give y'all something you shouldn't have in your hands, and you're gonna have to burn it, like at the like a spy movie giving you secret codes. Hey Barbaric, how you doing? Nice meeting you, my guy. I'm excited for a collab in about like 30 minutes. Oh, really? Fireworks? Is today like a celebratory day or something for you? Hold on, let me fix Mama Dodo real quick. She's kind of floating. Good. Yeah, I'm making an announcement. I started a little earlier because there's gonna be something that I'm doing for the first time ever today. and pretty much anything that could have gone wrong did, including but not limited to breaking my LAN cable in my computer port, in which then I had to find a way to get it out of my computer. That took 30 minutes. And then rush over to Target to get a new LAN cable that was long enough to then hook that up and then finish hooking things up. So I wasn't even prepared for the things I wanted to prepare for today because I was dealing with that nonsense. And then on the way here, because I'm dog sitting this week, so I essentially uprooted my entire setup into a new location for the week. And on the way here, I hit a deer for the first time. Like, so many things have gone wrong. So many things have gone wrong. Luckily, the deer is fine. My car is fine. I slowed down most of the way before we collided each other. It just kind of became a little tumbled and went on its way into the forest. My car didn't have any damage on it, so it's fine. Set off fire like crazy around this time of year. Interesting. I mean, to be fair, it is Halloween, so it's kind of based. All right, it's pretty based. We'll give it like a few more minutes, see if anyone else comes trickling in, and then I'll make the announcement. But what I did do today is I made sure I ate some food. Oh gosh, I don't know if y'all have ever had sparkling ice before. I'm not sponsored, but hey, sparkling ice, if you're listening, I'm open to the idea of sponsoring, because their caffeinated like blue raspberry drink, oh, it's so good. It's so good. And where I'm living currently doesn't have it, like, at all. So I had to end up drinking like caffeinated sodas in order to get caffeine, and it's not great. I'm not a coffee drinker. That's the problem. I'm not a coffee guy. So it's like, and at least growing up, when I was in college, when I needed caffeine, I would get Mountain Dew Voltage, which, you know, I'm quite a bit older now, so that does not work as well as it used to. In fact, it kind of has problems for when I consume it. But I bought Baja Blast from the grocery store for this week, especially since we're gonna be streaming pretty much all week this week. But with a new LAN cable in hand, and when we have this properly set up, we will make this happen. All right. Okay. Announcement time. So, as y'all may or may not be aware, there was something where I was essentially my goal eventually as a streamer, and that goal was to make enough money to pay off to pay off everything, but then anything extra we would have like charities and donations. So after some self-reflection and decision making of like holding myself back on things that I want and just putting arbitrary roadblocks, yeah, we're doing a charity for the next few weeks. And in particular, I have like a whole like thing planned as far as goals and things of that nature. That's what I was gonna prep for today. And then and then all that stuff happened. But the one thing that I know that Ratty, in you in particular, why I said that you would really, really enjoy this is because, let's see if I can pull it up. I wanna pull it up. I wanna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. Once I can... I had it open, I'm sorry. I have 57,000 tabs, but apparently the one thing that I wanted to have up is not up. I'm professional. Because I wanted to send the alert out. Because I want you to see, Roddy, the thing you inspired. Because you inspired the, yeah. You inspired the face of this charity event. Which is, I'd like y'all to meet Pumpkin. Pumpkin the Ankylosaur. Isn't she adorable? She has a malformed tail. And by we show her, hold on, I will also show it via, so y'all could actually just keep an eye on her. Boop. No, display capture. What? Huh? Where? Why isn't... Excuse me? Display capture? Oh, device not connected. Oh. There we go. Look at her! Look at her! Isn't she so cute? I think she came out really well. She has a deformed tail. And by us supporting her, we show that it what makes you unique is not something to be ashamed of. So this is Pumpkin. And what I will say, so there is incentives happening right now. But some of them are locked behind progression of these donations. Thank you. And welcome. Right now, what I'm doing is that I'm going to give y'all a link. Hopefully, it's the right link. I'm pretty sure it is. So, if y'all, our goal is 300. And I have, and I will be writing it out literally manually on the stream because I didn't get to make the sides today because of all the things that happened. Where I have a charity wheel that gets spun, and I'll have to, it's kind of like a punishment where it's like I do either exercises or I take hot sauce shots or lemon juice shots. So I have that going on, as well as what I will hint to y'all, because you love Pumpkin so much, at $50 towards the charity, I am going to unlock the Pumpkin sticker on our shop. Our first merch ever will be unlocked with that. And after meeting that, donating $10 will get you 50% off of getting that sticker on the shop. So, Pumpkin is going to become a sticker, and the first sticker that we've ever made on this channel. And yeah. So, do me a solid. See if this, let's see if this works. Okay? Let me know if this works or if you should burn it, okay? Because to me, it takes us to the donation, and it would hopefully do it via us. But to be 100% honest, I've never done this before, so I don't know if that's gonna work or not. But if for whatever reason it doesn't, let me know. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to add a couple of just text stuff so that we have it up all the time. So this is incentives. I keep on spelling incentives wrong. Okay. There we go. Charity incentives. Yeah, but I want to make sure that it's actually popping up. Okay, good. I'm glad that it's working. At least the link does. But I want to see if using that will go to our progress bar. If it does, awesome. Perfect. Exactly what we want to see. But I think what I will do is that I will use the link and then maybe I'll try it for the first time. I don't want to ask y'all to spend money unless you're ready to spend money. Incentives. And then we have because a lot of them are locked because I want it to be like, ooh, mysterious. $10. Well, no, this is the incentives. Incentives is $5. Oh my gosh, Idealist. It's not that hard. Unlocked after tier 1. I should probably actually make, instead of the incentives, let's do the goals, right? Because the incentives I think are going to be like hidden for everybody, but the goals will be seen by everyone. Because that is something to be excited about. Charity goals. My plan was that I was going to make these into signs. But here we are. All right, so goals. So at $10, charity goals. At $10, we unlock the charity wheel. At $50, we unlock pumpkin sticker. At $100, we unlock dinosaur movie night. At $150, we unlock unlock second pumpkin sticker. So I plan on making 3 pumpkin stickers, depending on our progression through this and how far we manage to get. Let's see here. This is unlock catch up stream. At 250, we unlock music making stream. And at $300 roonies, we unlock the third and final pumpkin sticker. Okay. Charity goals. There we go. Yeah, right. Big text. I think what we're going to do is that we're going to put this under... No, that's in front of chat. We'll put this, like, here. Is that 2 in the way? And then incentives locked after... Unlocked after $10. Unlocked after 10. And then it's the same deal for 50, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. So 10, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. Okay. There we go. I apologize for all the text. It's a lot, but that's what we're working with right now. Okay, let's see here. One thing I do want to do is background color. No, we want outline. We want black outline. And it's the same for incentives. Because we want to be able to see it both on white and dark backgrounds. See, like that one up there, that's the outline needs to be thicker. No, how do I make? Oh, let's okay, yeah, we'll do 20, and we'll do 20 as this one as well. Yeah. There we go. Boom. Charity goals, let's go. But yeah, that's the big announcement. The big announcement today is that. All right. So what I'm gonna try to do. Hold on. I want to see if I'm gonna put $10 towards it right now. Ooh, I'll be the first. Where's my? I don't put my money where my mouth is. What am I gonna do, right? Okay. And plus, I need to get a spooky Mama Dodo. All right, let's see here. We're gonna do $10. So charging transaction fees, you're donating, sent to charity, confirmed via payment, donations able to be completed. Display name is me. Comment is me. Idealist. At okay. All right. I believe everything is good to go. I'm gonna put my information in. Luckily, I'm not streaming that. Because that would be cringe. But it would also be on par for what we've been going through today. I'll tell you that much. Tell you what. Alright. I believe that one is it. Okie dokie. Let's see if it works. Okay. It works. Okay. Let's go! The links that I gave you. And with that, I made us go through the first hurdle. The first hurdle of $10. Let's go, which unlocked the incentive that we have going for us, which is at $5. We spin the wheel. So what I have going for us today is something a little special. Just a little special here. Boom. Welcome to the charity wheel. I have a whole bunch of stuff that is a mixture of things. A lot of these incentives, by the way, automatically apply when they're crossed. So like the $50 one, which unlocks pumpkin, whoever unlocks that tier will get not only will get a free pumpkin sticker. Just a heads up. It will be 100% free. I will pay for the stuff for that. But anything after that, it'll be 50% off for for meeting a certain threshold, etc. So I will now spin that wheel. What are we gonna do? Uh-oh. 5 minutes, use what? A different voice? Ooh, okay. All right, I'm gonna talk like this. I'm gonna do smoker voice for the next 5 minutes. It's totally not annoying. Get a Mickey Mouse. Ooh, that's actually good. Haha, okay. This is totally, not a certain mouse, haha. That would be cringe. That'd be cringe, haha. That'd be awful. Let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to download. We need to download the Mama Dodo's costume for the ghost hunt. This won't get annoying at all. Ooh, we need to get a timer. There we go. 5 minutes. Certainly no one would get annoyed by then. I don't know how to laugh as Mickey Mouse, so you're just gonna have to deal with my normal laugh for now. Besides the things I've been doing. Let's see. We need to get the new costume in for the ghost hunting. We need a professional. We need to look professional. Certainly we just ooze professionalism. Let's see, where did I put it? I believe I put it all in the same place now. Oh, you son of a... I have to do this in the Mickey Mouse voice? Oh, you... Oh, Mickey lore? I don't know Mickey lore. I don't even know if I wrote down anything for the regular lore. Oh, I'll get you back for this, Fratty. I swear to God. Do you... Well, while I'm thinking about it, do you have any questions? Questions for any particular summons that has been itching on your mind? Perhaps you want to know more about Pumpkin. Perhaps you want to, know a different leader. Perhaps magic. Any that you may have desired. Pumpkin's favorite hobby. Pumpkin actually likes drawing. Pumpkin likes to draw. Maybe on one of the future stickers, depending. They love drawing, which, to be fair, who doesn't at this point? Let's see. I don't feel like that's worth the lore drop. What would be good? Let's see if I was smart enough to write down a new lore drop that would have satisfied your curiosity. Let's see. I don't want to be scammed. Certainly not. No, we already talked about that lore redeem. Damn you, past idealist. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. You know how we can talk through the other end, through the other side, through the dimensions, through a television set given to us as a deal for the Goddard Entertainment. Haha. Well, the only reason that we are able to even access other dimensions is because the boundary of this world was broken through the attack of the outsiders. And they began the war of all wars. And where I gave his strength, and Idealist gave his strength from. So though it has created lots of devastation, it has given us access to see to the other side. Oh, no, not at all. This is actually a pretty good voice to do. Haha. The smoker voice is actually harder on my voice. What's difficult is making sure that I don't lose this high-pitched. I feel like if I clear my throat, I won't be able to access it. Ha! Thank you, thank you. And one extra thing I will also mention. The day that they attacked, it was described as the day that the sky fell. It appeared as though the sky shattered, as if the sky was painted on by the greatest of artists. And even to this day, you see stars that are not supposed to be there, and cracks. I'm losing the voice. And cracks, haha, that align the sky. Many miss the old sky, but to be honest, there is a beauty in this one too. One day, I'll be sure to show you. Oh, thank God, no more Mickey Mouse. Ratty, that was such a good wombo combo. That was so funny. You doing a lore drop after the voice change was... That was... I can't even be mad. I can't even... That was excellent. That was a good job. Let's see here. We want... Impulsive Thoughts 1. Yeah, it did. That was very good. Where's Phasmo? Where's our little ghost? Oh, there it is. We want... yeah, you. And then we want... Where are you? Where are you? There we go. There we are. There's Spooky Mama Dodo. Let's go ahead and switch it so that people can't switch. So say goodbye to all your redeems. Everyone's like, no, no. But I want to be able to change Mama Dodo to blankety blank blank, which reminds me I need to bring back Infected, because that was redeemed to come back again. Y'all never want the Infected to go anywhere, which is so funny, because whenever I do a popularity vote, it loses, and then you're just like, you know what? I'm spending points to keep it around. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Alright, let's see here. Please tell me I don't need to re-sign in on here. I probably do, but... let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I don't. Okay, good. Select that one as my active. We love an underdog. Exactly. Let's see if people are already moving in to collab. I think they are. Collab voice when you're ready. Yeah, we'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go into the collab. Alright, so we're here. We're in collab now. And let's go ahead and set up Phasmo. I swear if I don't have Phasmo downloaded, I'm gonna lose my mind. Or if it's like, it requires an update. Oh my god, it's not updated. Or it's not installed. Oh god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe I should leave the call the little things. Oh, guys. But hey, you know what? It's fine. But yeah, this events will be happening throughout the 24-hour stuff.
Oh,
Hello.
Idealist!
Hello. How are you? I'm live, by the way.
Me too. I'm live, by the way. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mama Dodo. How are you?
Oh, she's doing great.
Yeah.
I struggled today.
You? Why? Why are we struggling?
Okay, so
I'm writing notes.
So first things first, I am currently dog sitting for a friend for the next week.
Okay.
So I'll be sure to share some. I got permission from her for sending dog pics because I know everyone's gonna want them. And she's cute and adorable and an absolute demon.
What's her name?
Marble.
Marble. I love Marble already.
Yeah, Marble is great. Pain in the ass, but a too smart for their own good husky mix. So, it's like German. She's like German Shepherd husky mix. And so,
oh man.
So she is a handful. But
is trouble.
So, it started off really well with me driving over yesterday and then hitting a deer. So that started off strong. Luckily, by the time we collided, I slowed down like most of the way. So the deer was not hurt. My car was not hurt. My cars smelled like burning, but it's fine. So that happened. And then when I was setting things up today to get everything ready, I tripped on my LAN cable and it broke. And not only did it break, but it broke where the plastic piece was still stuck in the computer. So I had to I spent 30 minutes getting that out and then rushing over to Target to get new cables. And it was the whole thing. So sorry. It's fine. I'm going through it. But we are here. Everything is working. And yeah, it's good. Hello.
Well, I appreciate you being here. He messaged in our little collab chat that he's gonna be muted for a second. So it's still just us for a moment.
Yeah, he was in my chat earlier today. So I was excited to meet him.
Clown is, I think, one of my most favorite people I've met. He's super cool, very friendly.
Hell yeah.
Also very into like horror, scary stuff like us.
Let's go.
So one of the girls. yeah. Very cool guy. Him and his wife Zelda are like super rad. And obviously like I'm collabing with the best. Like I got you. Bappy's coming back. I
was excited to see Bappy as well.
Oh yeah, especially for this to be Phasmo, because last time we collabed and did Phasmo was so much fun. So I'm very excited for today. So thanks for collabing.
No, thank you for setting it up.
If you gotta do dog stuff, I know you mentioned you're doing some charity stuff. I don't know if that's also a day thing, but if you gotta do what you gotta do, just go do it. We totally get it.
Okay.
I'm very excited for you.
No, I've already done the rundown as far as the charity stuff. Currently, the only thing they have unlocked for incentives for is if they spend at least $5, that I have to spin like a charity wheel, or either it's like a punishment / basically what they just did, which was a really funny combo. It landed on I had to change my voice for 5 minutes, so they had me do a Mickey Mouse impression. And then they redeemed a lore drop of Idealist. So I had to give background lore as Mickey Mouse. Yes, Idealist.
Of yourself? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Your chat's always been amazing though. That's incredible.
Yeah, my chat's kind of my chat's kind of cool. I don't want to brag. They're kind of neat.
They good. We like them.
Yeah.
But
but
my chat is filled with simps. What? Sorry.
Oh no. What I do want to show you is that I have like essentially a mascot for this charity. It would be I'll post it in art. I want to show you what I made. I'm actually quite proud of how this turned out.
Heck yeah, please. Baby!
Hello!
Yeah.
I put it in your art.
Welcome.
On your Discord.
Real quick. then I'm setting up Phasmo for us. Bappy, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good.
Doing good.
It will be fun and scary.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Oh, this is very cute.
Her name is Pumpkin, the ankylosaur, and she has a deformed club tail that she's self-conscious about, but we're showing that just because something makes you unique doesn't make it bad. Yeah, so she's my mascot for this charity event, and part of the goals is if we meet them, I make different stickers that people can get of her in like merch store stuff. So
I love this. I love this so much. They are perfect. As someone who just adopted a cat named Pumpkin, I'm biased.
That's such a good name for a cat.
A pumpkin. Listen, good name for our little dino friend.
Oh yeah, no, the name was inspired by Ratty. Ratty, I think it was just like a random conversation where it was like, oh, what's a good name for like a baby ankylosaur? And Ratty said Pumpkin, and I was like, that's amazing. That's an amazing name.
Perfect. Oh, Clown! Hello!
Hello,
welcome
everybody.
In.
Hello!
How are you?
I'm alright. Dude, I love ankylosaurs so much.
Yeah!
They're
Hell
my
yeah.
favorite dinosaur.
Hell yeah! Well, then this is just up your alley.
It is.
Dinosaurs, horror streaming game, Twitch, like this. Honestly, if there was 3 people I wanted to play Phasmo with, I'm glad it is you 3 because the vibes immaculate.
Yeah. No, thank you for setting this up. This is great.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm very excited. It's day 4 of Halloween, and it's my first collab day, and I'm very excited. I am struggling though on how to add you guys to my Phasmo game. I don't remember how to add people.
I think you go on your profile and you can invite people, no?
Do I what? I'm sorry?
Did you create the multiplayer lobby first?
Yes, I made the lobby.
I'll go ahead and cut my music because it's clashing. Granted, it's Phasmo, there's no music. But
I know, it's just the guy talking on the mic or the walkie-talkie. How do I switch this, I wonder?
I am glad
okay,
to be able to finally play this.
Okay, Ella, you go on your main panel, and there is an NV code on the top.
Yes.
So you can copy and.
Oh, there we go. Now we have some game audio. I had it on 0 for whatever reason.
To join.
Oh, I have it on. Wait, why?
All right, Miki.
Mikey.
Oh, do we want to do a collective chat as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to get you guys in this first.
I think I can just join you on the friends list, which I'm attempting to do.
I have all 3 of you on Steam, so it definitely should.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, let's go.
I will set up right now. Shared chat.
Oh, do we also want in-game chat, or are we thinking Discord? What are we thinking?
Ooh, I'm happy to leave that up to y'all if we wanna mute here on the Discord or just in-game. You know what? Probably we should do in-game because then if someone dies, it's like, ooh, what happened? You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me. I'm gonna start inviting you guys on. What is it? What are we on Twitch?
Yeah, we're on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitch currently.
Who am I? Dude, Halloween day 4. My brain is.
Oh yeah, no, you're going real hard this week, so all the.
Love it.
Why do we have our own pocket-sized blood moon? That's interesting.
Heck yeah.
I was gonna ask you what that thing is.
No, I didn't bring it.
Okay.
I'll ask Pumpkin to see if.
It was me.
Pumpkin, what have you been doing? Pumpkin was a Satanist the whole
How
time.
Ella was talking, I guess we gotta do this the whole time.
I was talking Southern yesterday. I think I surprised my chat a little bit the way my words were wording.
You did it today too.
Sometimes I just can't help it.
All right.
Okay, I sent all 3 of you invites to join the call on. This is just for shared chat
Yeah.
on Twitch, so you should get a little notification.
Time to
on
open it on
Twitch.
Chrome because it doesn't like Opera.
Also, hi, Eclectic. Hello.
Oh yes, I forgot. Oh.
Ooh, 5 stream streak. Okay, we got Clown shared chat. Hi, Zelda. Got you in here. Okay.
We gonna have everybody.
Barbaric, by the way, you're not muted in the shared.
Oh yes, be sure to mute yourself in the call on Twitch.
Yeah.
I know. It's trying to load.
You got it.
You're good.
Hey, ready?
I just wanted to let you know in case you didn't know.
Thank you.
No worries.
Full worries, all fear.
All
Pure
fear.
scare. Big
All
spooky
fear.
time. Yay! Whoa! Level 25, dude, you've been cooking.
What is that?
Who is
Who's
this man?
who's
Oh, that's not
ripping
us.
one? What was that?
Who is not? Get out of here.
Oh,
There.
who
That
we
was a
lose?
clown.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I'm still connected.
hold on. Is this a public lobby?
I think I made it public on accident, but at this
Oh.
point we're all here.
Someone was
So what-
definitely
That was
ripping
random.
a.
random. I
That
just
was
kicked him out. Don't worry
God,
about it. I was
Listen,
like,
I got.
"Clown, you're so high
She
level."
was
And I was
ripping a
like,
bong. God, I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh,
100%.
I had it muted.
I
so
couldn't hear it.
goddamn.
I did. I heard the. I heard the.
Oh.
I heard the bubble where they suck in the air, and she was just like, "Hello," and then quit, like gone.
Gonna hit this sick ghost real quick and hits the bong instead. The weed drug.
Yeah,
To be
Uh-huh.
fair-
Good shit.
Would Mama Dodo rip a bong?
I think
is
the question is,
incredible.
would she not rip a ball?
I think there would have to be a certain costume for that. That one would.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think base Mama Dodo would not, but other costumes would. Now, would the ghost hunting one would? I think the answer is yeah. I think the
Oh,
ghost
well, yeah,
hunting
you
Mama
gotta be able
Dodo
to see
would
it.
would do that.
There's a giant bucket.
Bappy.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Did-
have a problem to connect because it don't work on the PR. And
Oh, it's fighting you a little bit.
Yep.
my
I'm
Chrome
sitting on
is
connecting.
not.
Okay.
All right, let's see
What's the
here.
button?
Let's also go to audio, voice activated. Okay, good. So, it seems good at the very least. I think my voice is pretty good in game as far as volume.
I don't think I can hear people in game yet. I'm still waiting for, I think, Clown to join.
All right. I'm gonna just reboot my game.
Okay.
Okay. And then I think we're still waiting on. There's
Okay.
Bappy. Perfect. Yay. Okay, so we're set on Twitch.
Okay, Phasmophobia. I switched the category with Tronic. If I could spell. Yep.
Spelling hard. Words hard.
East. Bow.
I should probably make a private lobby. All these randos keep joining.
Probably.
Yeah, I recommend that, and then you just tell us the
At
password.
least tell them to puff
All right,
pass.
hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
Don't just like come in here with the bong. Get out. We're gonna get banned on Twitch. Just kidding. Okay, hold on. Multiplayer.
I don't think there's anything we could do to get ourselves banned on Twitch.
Say that, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I know the
Private,
bullshit
there
going
we
on
go.
right now.
There we go. There we go. Oh God, yeah. Everything.
All I need to do is show some thigh, and then that's it. We're good.
That's all it takes. Wait, hold on. I got biddies out for
Oh.
days. Wait a
Actually,
minute.
yes, that is what has happened on the debut.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. No,
Yep,
they
Marvel
are
debut,
very.
They got banned for thighs.
You
Okay,
can't
I am-
show like I think it's like the V region, I want to say.
Only for VTubers.
Yeah, but only for VTubers. Flesh tubers
But
can.
live birth is okay.
Flesh
Yeah.
tubers. All right. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
Changing the subject. The code is in the collab planning chat. Join. Get out of here.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Ella never lets us have any fun.
Right?
No, don't agree with that. No.
Got
that's funny.
chat. Do you agree?
Boo. Chat, I was just hyping you guys up. Chat! Oh,
Let's see.
welcome
Multiplayer.
back in.
Oh right,
We're
this is
setting
the
up
one where
chat.
this isn't a copy paste situation. It's a type situation.
Yeah.
Let's see, join, and then we have to put it like some kind of old phone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and oh guys, look, I'm sorry,
You have to type the code. Oh.
Yep. Oh no! Suddenly my gameplay thing went off. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, ooh no.
It'd be such a shame if I have to show my thighs.
Oh my
Lifts up
god,
Dodo's
that would be.
skirt.
One of the things I had thought it would be really funny was to do hyper realistic chicken thighs and put it on the model and just see if I get banned.
Please, that would be so funny.
Please.
Oh.
Zelda is the static still there.
All right, so now I am going to.
God, yeah, this is old school.
Mhm. It's quite the game. It's fun though.
I'm gonna go to my output and put it to 0 so that everything's still good to go. All right, so I can't hear y'all, but I can hear Ella, but that's it so far. Yeah. Well, I'm not hearing Bappy. Yeah. Put it in game. Do it. White woman jump scare. Can I randomize? There we go. Yeah. Can you hear? Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. I need to turn back the gameplay after getting into the thing. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, same.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Abyss.
Whoops. Sorry. I just didn't want y'all to see the password. Oopsies. I mean, there was a glitch.
Can you guys hear me in game right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mute on Discord then.
Yeah.
Or actually, if you do have a little Fugi, if you guys have a little Fugi tech, just go ahead and like turn everyone else down.
Oh no. I recommend just putting your output to 0 in Discord.
Yeah.
On Discord, okay.
Then it's just one. It's one slider, and then you don't have to worry about changing it again in the future. Yeah, it's in the gear.
Volume, 0.
Yep, that's it, and that's it. You're good,
0.
and you light up
Okay.
just fine on my end, and there's no double doing,
Hello?
Yep.
unless you're a fan of that.
Same here.
But you know.
Okay. We got
All right.
Okay.
Why can't I go into the closet of death? Bigoted.
What?
All right, time to shoot some hoops, some spooky hoops. Don't worry, I'm just as bad as this in real life. Yep, told you. See, told y'all. Oh, nope. No! There's another one. All right, we got this. Oh, All right. Will I make what? Will I make one before we get started? Probably not. Let's be real. I've never been good at basketball. I had one person in high school not like me just for that reason. It was wild. Let's go! First try. Let's go.
You are
Hello.
only way to communicate.
What's up?
Okay, so
Yes.
I hear both of them, Ella. You can't
Oh,
hear
no.
either of them.
What?
Oh,
Ella
I
cannot
can't hear
hear
the
us.
two of you.
Like in game?
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where?
Yeah, you're the only one I hear.
Where? Are we in blocked players?
Clown, what are you talking about? It's just us. We're the only ones collabing today. What are you talking?
Are we set on
Clown,
0?
voice in your head.
Well,
Are we set on
Clown
0
voice.
on the thing?
I don't know what to do.
Can you tell Ella to check if she have not us mute?
I'm
in the
gonna turn
panel?
him back up.
Do you have them muted in the game?
They are both microphones on. They are turned all the way up. You're the only one readied up.
Interesting.
That's
This
weird.
one I stopped talking, so she can't hear it.
Yep.
No.
Just pretend not to talk.
Hold on. I'm gonna unmute on Discord.
Why is my
Maybe we have to Discord if I can't hear you guys.
Right.
Oh, that's weird.
Of course, there's technical difficulties. Hello.
Hello. I mean,
Okay.
I can hear you, so I'm not gonna unmute. But
Same.
Okay, that's fine. If you guys can hear me, then heck yeah. I don't know why. I'll probably mute Clown in game then, so I can only hear you guys through Discord though.
okay. I'm not really
Clown, do you
sure
mind talking for a
why.
second? In game 2?
in game 2?
Okay, I'm gonna.
I can push to mute myself.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead and vote. I think we should do the first one since it's Clown's first time playing Phasmo.
Oh, okay.
Like the house, the small house, but then we can explore. Cause Clown, what do you know about this game? Do you know? Have you,
It's ghost
have you
hunting.
touched it?
He's probably
Yeah, it
better.
is.
He's probably better than me already.
No, Babby, you did great your first time. I was very proud of you.
All I know is from watching people play on Twitch. So
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I told Clown
And
if you had
hearing
question,
really-
ask Idealist because he knows the game, and we just be scared. And you Ella and me will just be scared in a
We
corner.
were scared the whole time. It was a lot of fun.
Quick ad break. Ooh. Oh,
Okay,
whoops.
and then when you're ready, we just ready up.
Oh, yeah. I think the only thing I remember how to do is the temperature and the dots.
Yes, we will leave you to dots and
that's-
temperature.
And that's
Remember,
all.
you want to take pictures? Maybe like proof of the ghost. We're trying to see if it's like cold. There's like a bunch of little things we do to figure out what kind of ghost it is, because we're definitely getting haunted. We just don't know by what.
something that wants us dead, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we do have to
Correct.
grab stuff.
Very correct.
I don't remember at all. You want me to grab stuff?
I thought just for this first one, I threw in like a flashlight.
Okay.
And then we can explain to Clown after, maybe this. I think. Let me. That's okay. How much money do we have? I'm just buying some stuff real quick while we're.
No worries. I realized that I started doing a new auto command thing and then didn't do anything about it. So
Uh-oh.
it instead copied my thing twice. So I was like, okay, that's not what I want. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I think I at least added salt to the mix.
Okay.
My balls? Did you say my balls?
Charity reminder. Now we know that thing works. Okay. If it gets, I have it every 30 minutes or so. If it gets too spammy, feel free to let me know and I will lean back on it. Especially with
Okay,
share chat
thank
on.
you. Appreciate.
Hey, catch.
good, Zelda. Sorry.
There we go. No, you're all good. This is always the hardest part of collabs.
My game audio on.
Oh no. Okay.
Zelda couldn't hear you guys.
Oh, can't have that.
All right. I feel like every time a collab starts, the first like 10 to 15 minutes are like shared chat, everyone in the game, share audio. So I'm very nervous.
E.
Tomorrow I'm collabing with 9 people.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I'm very excited. I'm very nervous.
Okay.
Picto!
Hey, it's gonna be repo. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Is repo with 9 people with mods on. It's gonna be
Yeah.
We're all streaming at the same time.
Yeah. Chaos, chaos, chaos.
I'm 9 eclectic. I reached out to a bunch of my stream friends and I was like, hey, I'm doing Halloween these days. Respond if you want to collab. And I was like, oh, I'll get like 2 or 3 people. And then the number didn't stop, and I'm like, I love my friends. They're very sweetly.
Yeah, we all just cascaded you.
It's an honor.
She forced us to play with her because she was going to kill us
Yeah.
in the basement. If she did not.
She actually blackmailed me. True story.
She takes the kitty off stage. Help!
You're in trouble, boys.
Oh, by the way, you can pick up multiple things, and then you can scroll wheel to select them again.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do. How many things can you take?
3, I think?
3, my lord.
3, my lord. 3.
Thank you. Holding up the 2.
Yeah, it's like the wrong number.
It's like one of my favorite bits. Meowie and I joke about that all the time. I think we have 1 EMF reader. Do I have it extra? No.
Do you want me to buy anything extra?
No, I think we're good. This is round 1.
Do we have photo camera? Well, we don't have a photo camera either.
I'll pick it up. I'm in the shop.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Alright, should be...
I don't even like that many people.
Devil, listen!
I have people over 9 people that I like, but I'm lucky. It took a long time to get to that many. You actually have to be over the age of 30. It's kind of like a tier system where you like unlock more slots, like over time. Then you actually like you get more friends that you can be friends with, and it's tolerable. Like it's a whole thing. Yeah. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You'll unlock it over time.
Ready?
Unless you have unlocked the social butterfly trait, then you get to overcome that pretty like earlier.
Special idealist. Special mode.
Oh yeah, no, I am not one of those. Don't you worry. I did not unlock that trait. That is not a trait I unlocked.
Clown, do you know how to ready up in game?
I know that was genuine, but it came off so passive aggressive. Hey, do you know how to like ready up in game?
I'm sorry. Do you know how to press a button? No.
You know how to. We're supposed to ready up, right?
I'm very sorry. It was not intended.
Okay. Alright, so you want the sarcastic ass.
Oh. You got cut off hard, which was really funny.
Oh. Wait, I can hear you guys now. Hold on. Wait.
Oh.
Again? I was thinking it was like a loading error kind of deal. So I'm glad it fixed itself. Sometimes you just gotta fix it yourself.
Okay.
Is this? Oh, these are dots.
Oh.
Also clown.
Also clown? What? Oh, right.
Now I can't hear clown.
What the hell? Is it just inverse? Are we inversed?
You can't hear me? Yes, one.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Clown talk.
I put myself in the game just to be an ass, but I guess.
What?
Oh,
no.
Clown cannot hear us now? That's why.
I can hear
you.
everyone but clown in game.
Ella?
Really?
So I know what to do. Don't worry.
We might have a problem. We might have forgotten something really important.
I can hear you.
What?
Flashlights.
No way.
I don't think we.
He took one. He got one.
Yeah, we have one, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take a black light.
I guess I will also. You know what? Dots. Certainly, that won't be problematic in the slightest.
Have temperature.
I'll take voice box and ask really rude questions.
Yeah. So Clown, there's a way you can get 3. You can get 3 items at a time. I think he was telling you about the scroll wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, let me turn off my.
Hold on. I have a stud finder. Beep 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 beep. Oh, yep, we got one. Beep 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 beep. Wow, we have so many studs. Boop 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 boop. Yep. We got 3 studs here. That's crazy.
Oh
my god. I think Devil Kitten just figured it out for me. He's so dumb.
So what is it?
Muted. I had Clown muted. I don't know how that happened.
Well, you.
Listen, I'm not good at games and I'm not good at streaming. I'm just here doing my best, okay?
That's your 2 things of your job. It's literally just those 2 things.
That would make sense.
It's only those. It's streaming and games.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I could go hunt a ghost, so I'll see you later.
Uh-huh. You don't even know the ghost name, do you?
You're fine. Oh no, c'est Halloween decoration. I don't like this.
Ooh, spooky.
I know in one of the homes here, there is a streamer who has his dog on a plate on a map.
Okay.
Alright, let's see here. EMF.
Idealist.
Hey, Susan, where you off? Huh?
Well, how do we walkie-talkie?
Do you remember what temperature is a go?
The what to go?
At which? What temperature?
Oh,
Is it below 0 or something?
anything below 0. Yeah, is what we're looking for.
0.
Below 0. Even if it's near 0 or at 0, I don't think it counts.
This thing and you hold the door.
Was that Santa? Who was that?
That was not Santa. That was Ella found something in the bedroom.
Ooh.
The blood on the bed scared me.
Oh.
But I think it's all like Halloween.
Are you sure it's blood?
You just want a little quieter.
Yeah, that looks.
It's just a part of the Halloween map, like all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, surely this is just a normal house. This is just a spooky Halloween themed. Get the kids, you know, all riled up. Let's see here. Anything over yonder? I'm not seeing a whole lot of nothing. Oh, well, someone was cutting out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that door was cracked, which means there might have been a ghost who opened it. So UV, check the doors. Oh, another little portable red moon, little crimson. I'm gonna check the basement. I'll let you know if I die by screaming. Oh, hello, person already in the basement.
I don't want to be alone, so I will follow you guys.
I'm just looking to see if there's any like items or...
No EMF. What difficulty are we on?
This is amateur.
Psst. I'm not seeing anything. The most that I got was like a little wiggle here. But nothing to the degree of, like, they did something. Susan, where are you? Give us a sign. Hey, Susan, where are you at? By the way, B is for radio.
None of us know.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, how do you use the walkie-talkie?
B.
E for everyone?
B is in boy.
For not everyone. For Baki. Baki?
Baki, or Bartholomew.
Maki's a great show.
Hey, Susan, do you think Baki's a great show? Over.
Okay, do you hear me, please, radio?
Yeah, I can hear just about everybody on the radio.
Supposed to do anything?
What?
5 degrees, so not because you're...
Is this ghost
Turn
meter
off the
supposed
light.
to do something? Because
Y-
it ain't doing nothing.
Yeah,
I
showing
think
up
it's
again,
supposed to go off. Certain ghosts react to certain items, so some of them might not react to that.
Oh, let's look for cursed items.
Yeah.
Can you find the cursed
I found
item?
The pelvis.
The pelvis? You can't show that on Twitch.
Oh,
We were just talking about this.
You're gonna get banned! No, Ella, no!
I did take a picture of it. I don't think I.
Hell yeah. Also, you can pick it, once you take a picture of it, you can just pick it up and it'll disappear.
I can't pick it up.
Hey, Susan, give us a sign.
I don't think I can pick up the pelvis.
Where is it?
There was
Oh, what'd you press?
I pressed E. Forehead.
Oh. I'm learning how to play this game.
It would be great. Any EMF would be great.
I know. Or a temperature drop. Or...
Hey, Susan, when did you start being a coward?
Yeah, call her out. Activity right now.
Like, you live like this? Like, come on. Oh, where?
Activity 10, activity 10.
Activity 10 where? There's been nothing.
Where? In the panel, I don't know. In the panel, in the truck.
Activity
Hello?
10? The frick?
Like in the truck, it's activity 10. Outside?
Well, I mean, that it would have said the activity in the truck, right? I don't think the activity was in the truck.
Okay, activity's down again. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense.
I didn't see anything, so it makes me think maybe basement. Hey, yo, Susan. Where you at? It's your boy. Hey! Hell yeah. Okay, EMF 5. Everyone in the basement. Everyone in the basement. Over. Hey, Susan, where are you? Are you close? If you were to pick a color between red and blue, which color would it be?
why there is no light anymore? Who put the light?
Were you an iPad kid?
I just heard a head.
If you were to give me your favorite vowel, what would it be? If you had to choose between... Oh, okay. We got voice box and we have EMF 5.
Injured. Ooh.
Oh, the temperature is going lower than before.
Oh, that's a high.
Oh,
No, oh no!
she's just being spooky. Oh no, I'm about to die. Watch me as I die. Watch me. Witness me.
Okay, idealist died, idealist died. Hello? You died? What? Idealist died in the basement. Oh no, Bappy's down. Alright, it's fine, he went away, but idealist died. Okay, I think... Cloud and I are definitely checking out something very important right now. So, good luck. Oh!
They're in the damn truck.
Leave me alone.
Oh, cursed mirror.
Noise in the basement. What did he say? It was like. Hold on. How do I use my journal? J.
They don't even know. I had the two things.
We had EMF and spirit box and freezing temperatures. Probably the twins.
Spirit or wraith? Is that?
No, what was that?
Oh, the door's locked! 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 No!
Would you stop so I could open
Oh,
the door?
no, it's here.
Go! Go!
Oh, hello, Ham.
Look. Someone died. Hello?
Hello? They took out Cloud! They
Hey man, how's it going?
Is anyone else alive?
Wait, are you talking? I can't hear you. You're so quiet. Weird. Do I have you down? I mean, I at least see myself up. You're so muffled. Am I muffled? Maybe it's just this world that post-death is like you sounds like you're talking through nothing.
You're clear here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Speak. Okay. Yeah, just being in the house is weird, I guess. That's funny.
I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
By the way,
Inside? I think it's
EMF 5 and Spirit Box is what I said.
Okay,
So,
Wait, does
Yeah.
someone?
I knew that much.
Ghostwriting. Don't check.
Spirit.
I think only one of us. Oh no. Oh no.
It may be Spirit.
I also
Oh.
dots. I didn't also dots. Maybe spirit.
I'm gonna say Spirit because Wraith,
Pick one, or should we just go in there? What if we're
unless
wrong?
they're willing, they're gonna do the salt
I
thing.
think if we go in there, we die instantly.
We're
Okay,
not able
hold
to
on,
help
can
them
you
at all,
drop
are
the-
we?
Oh, I hate the knife.
No, but it's funny.
Oh, that's
Okay,
great.
how
And
do I
we
drop
fuck
what
with
did
them.
how'd you-
Oh yeah, no, let's grab some stuff from the house and throw at them.
Okay, I'm gonna drop salt.
Okay. Outside of doing the realistic knocking in Ella's stream. Because
Right.
I did that. Okay,
Okay.
can we grab stuff?
Yeah, you can grab like
I
photos.
got a dog picture.
Perfect. I have a fishing? No, baby picture.
How do I pick this up?
E.
Ah. E. There. Okay. Okay, Bappy. I'm gonna do something
Okay.
crazy. I'm gonna go back in the basement, and I'm going to die. Okay.
Okay.
I have no sanity. I'm going to talk to you on the walkie-talkie as long as I can the whole time. I'm going to
Okay,
check
what did you take?
the temperature. I'm going to see if we get freezing.
Okay, I checked the temperature. I don't think it could be a 0.
Ooh.
For me, it's don't.
I'm dropping these. Oh wait, nope, wrong one.
But
I'm
you can
dropping
check
everything.
again if you want.
Okay. I have a feeling we were close. Oh god. All right. Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
Remember me as I once was. Here we go.
Yeah.
Who was she once?
Hi, Beppy.
Was.
Clown, I'm sorry. Oh, I hate what's about to happen here. Okay. Jason?
Oh, I'm watching this and I'm watching this.
Okay, I'm going downstairs. You can do it. I'm in the basement. Hello? Hello, ghost. I'm here in your space, and I'm checking to see if it's cold, and it's getting colder. It's getting colder now. I am getting cold in here. So stay put on some more clothes. I am getting so cold.
Oh, I'm dying. Bappy, I'm dying. Bappy, I'm dying. It's not freezing. You were right. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna.
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Let's be sure to welcome her to the team.
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the team.
Hi, Ella.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to, make sure. Oh, you got a hammer, bud. Okay.
I do.
and,
We were throwing things at y'all the whole time.
were you? Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Hell yeah. Dog picture actually about 5 times.
No, I didn't even see it. Oh. Let's see what that. There he goes.
Anyway, I said spirit.
Oh, you said spirit? Oh.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Hey, let's go, spirit. Spirit, let's go.
We
Oh,
did
we should
it.
probably teach Clown about the journal.
Nah.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'll
Probably
learn as we
important.
Oh.
I unlocked salt. Now I can actually enjoy my food. Let's go.
I've never played this before. The ghosts give you
Oh,
back shots.
someone?
Know it.
Someone. Clone crushed.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can't imagine who.
Lost-
We lost
lost
clown. Like
Uh,
we lost it,
yeah.
we died.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
We trolled them too hard.
He bullied me in my chat. Hold on, let me turn it back up. Clown?
Look at all this. Look at all. Oh, can't show that pelvis on Twitch. I might get banned. Music box, monkey paw. Look at all these like good stuff. But oh, unfortunately, I did see it near the end, but I did see the curse mirror. It was on the wall.
And I forgot. Oh, he's back.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Hey.
I hit leave thinking it was leaving the menu.
Yeah, we've all done that. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I forget this game has that weird
Yo.
menu style.
I mean, I never do it.
The talkie-walkie don't work when.
Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah, no, everything's fine. Anyway, I'm thinking. Let's see. I say there's a weird, spooky red stuff, so I say Grafton Farmhouse. Welcome, to Pow. Where's my stuff? Oh, I died. So I don't have stuff. Right. Alright, well. Yeah. Can you hear us?
Now it's me. I can hear the two of you perfectly.
Yeah, I hear all of y'all.
Okay.
I just don't hear Ella. And she's just staring at me, so I have no idea.
Trying to teach him. Trying to teach him how to use the journal.
What?
Be sure to buy a flashlight, by the way.
Okay, how do I use this?
The shop?
Yeah.
So what you do when you interact with it, you go up to the shop tab on the left.
Okay.
And then that's how you buy more items. You unlock better items and more items as you level up. As someone who has just started, you probably don't have a lot, but at the very least you do have access to a flashlight, which I recommend you buy, and then you go to Equipment Manager, and then you hit the plus sign on the flashlight to add it to our thing. I believe you will be represented as a different color, so you know. Yeah, green is you, red is anyone else. So, well, I mean, it's anyone who's not. Red is anyone who's not you.
Oh, every time I put something down, it's red.
Oh, really?
Oh.
For me, it's green.
Someone is white, someone is green, someone is red.
I don't see white. I don't see, like the skin tone. No, I don't see the color white.
Shut up! Boo!
I'm sorry. I deeply apologize for that joke.
Don't you
I
dare.
deeply apologize. So sorry. I'm just so sorry.
We lost Clown again.
Again? Uh-oh.
No!
And
Cloud! I think he hit leave. I think he hit leave. I bet. I'm putting money on that.
His whole stream crashed, I think.
His whole stream? Did he hit? Did he accidentally hit Alt F? Did someone tell him Alt F4?
Not like this emotes on your stream.
I hope not.
Oh no!
His Wi-Fi stopped. No.
No!
No, buddy.
Please, no!
No, the
Take me! Take me!
Just cut him.
Just ripped the shirt. No!
Well, hopefully it's a quick reset, or maybe is it down, like it's not coming back.
Down to the bottom of the sea. Well, considering you're talking in chat, that means like
Maybe he's on.
There's some form of internet that you have, right?
Okay, he's back on.
Maybe it was like a little baby hiccup. Maybe it was just a little, someone overfed the Wi-Fi and they got a little sleepy,
Maybe. I'm gonna try to fix. Okay.
And then we're gonna play.
Telling you to the basketball.
Anything it's just everything. Anything spherical, just activates it.
Hey. Ooh.
Yeah, I made the same joke.
No. Okay, good. I like that we're sharing the brain.
Yeah. I want to see spooky lady on the other side of the door. Let me see it.
What you doing, Daffy?
I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of. What
Oh,
I'm doing,
oh.
but yeah.
Dominoes.
You see when
Dominoes.
yeah, Dominoes. When I do that. Wait, I do that.
Hey, let's go!
I just
Oh!
wanted to do that.
Is there a lady on the other side of this door? Is that what you're saying?
There usually is, but it is Halloween, so I don't know. Okay, so this is the Crimson Eye, right? So
Yeah.
we need to do personal goals, and then trophy upgrade 1. Okay. And it's empowering paranormal entities. Take care. They're stronger than ever. So we need to identify ghosts correctly, complete optional objectives, and interact with totems you find. So we need to find the totems and interact with them, which I guess is the moon, or the for short.
Oh, okay, okay.
I guess. Okay, yeah. Clown is in.
So,
Oh,
outside
hello.
of flashlight, what should
Uh-huh.
I get? Outside of
Honestly,
flashlight, what
just
should I get?
flashlight. Just flashlight. You don't have a lot of money in the beginning, and whenever you die, you lose it. So it's honestly, and they give you the base stuff in like for free. So anything
Okay.
extra, you, for me at least, I had a lot of trouble dying a lot and then not affording anything, and then I couldn't afford a flashlight. So just save your money, just focus on flashlight, and we'll pick up the tab for now.
Do I have to take a flashlight too?
Okay, I was gonna say.
Everyone should buy their own flashlight. Yes.
Okay.
Buy your own flashlight and bring your own flashlight. You know, BYOF.
Bring your own
Yes.
word I couldn't say on Twitch. Okay.
I was like, careful.
Ella,
Careful.
can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Ella,
I
can you
hear
hear me?
Good.
Yes. Welcome back. Happy?
Hello.
Happy throwing it back. Goddamn. All right, let's get back in there. We're here.
Okay.
We got gear. Don't forget. Oh, so on the left here, we gotta vote for where we want to go. So we could either go back to the same house or we could go to the next one. Ooh.
I chose Grafton. I guess it deleted it. I vote for Grafton. Edgefield. Yeah, let's do Edgefield. Yeah, let's do Edgefield.
They're for the event. The
I guess
idealist was just talking
I
about.
could.
And then we click ready up.
Boop.
Got everyone turned up.
Sure. Yeah.
Bam,
Uh-huh.
Bam. Thank you. Ow.
Wham, bam, thank you, and then nothing.
Okay.
Oh, oh no, that's funny. It cut off.
Let's see here. Got that. We're gonna grab another EMF, and you know what? We'll do.
Temperature.
We'll set. You know what? We'll do black light too.
I got flashlight.
FYI, if you have a flashlight, you can press T. When you have any other weapon out, any other item out, and you can turn on your flashlight on and off, so you don't need to have it like out to use it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that. Okay, our goals are get an average sanity below 25, detect the
Already there, baby.
motion sensor,
Detect
and get the
Dodo's
ghost to
presence.
blow out a firelight, and it
Ooh.
responds to people who are alone.
In that case, I'm gonna put that back, and I'm gonna get the motion sensor out ASAP.
Okay, who has the thermometer?
I have.
Okay,
I have
perfect.
EMF and motion sensor.
Let's
I
get
got
it.
a bundle of sticks.
FYI, you can check the name of the ghost in your journal in the overview tab. Trisha Chakras.
Okay, this one has 3 floors. So
Okay, woman first.
find the ghost.
Woman for. How dare you? You know what? I'm gonna say that was towards Mama Dodo.
Oh, we found it.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's that?
I did something.
What just happened?
What is this?
Oh. It's in the garage! Get away from my car!
Oh, that's basement. Garage is over here.
Alright.
Oh yeah, it's setting up the car alarm.
We had a 2 in here.
What is that thing?
What's that sound?
It's the car alarm.
Alright, I have the motion sensor up. I'm gonna put the EMF here. I'm gonna get other items because I'm just gonna assume it's in this room.
Well, it's not responding to the radio.
Where's the damn keys? There it is.
Alone.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Bye, Bobby.
There it is.
What?
Hey guys, I found the car keys.
Wow. It's so loud.
There you go.
It's like the alerts alert me before it happens.
Whew, alright. Now that that's out of the way, time to get through it. Am I right? I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's do you, and let's do you. Yes.
How are we doing in there?
I'm living. For now.
I locked Bappy in the garage. She's meant to be. She locked me.
Ugh.
You can leave whenever you want.
Why can't I pick this up?
Why
Ugh.
are you looking?
Where are you?
Well, you know what? F it, that works.
What?
There you go. Alright, you got this. I'm gonna check the dots.
Okay.
Have fun.
Doors keep closing. Love that.
Alright, let's see here. Video cameras. God, that's horrible. Alright, guys. Get out your snacks. We watch. Not seeing anything. I'm not even 100% sure if they're in that room. But I messed with the blood moon, and then the car alarm went off. So
How are we doing, boys?
I'm checking the lights right now, the camera, and so far nothing.
Okay, I'm just opening up everything, trying to find the haunted item.
All right, you do that now.
Clown, just so you know, there's gonna be one item per map that is, like, special. It can help us talk to the ghost, it can grant a wish. So you're looking for something, like, out of place.
Like a cursed doll or a Ouija board or
You checked up there? A mirror?
a mirror. Are we sure it's in the garage? Have we seen any signs otherwise? I just kind of assumed because the blood moon made the car alarm go off.
No, not certain. I'm upstairs. Oh, I found this.
You found the what now?
The bone.
Is it a pelvis again? Classic VTuber. Hmm. Oh. Motion sensor was just activated by the ghost in the garage.
It is the garage.
Or at the very least, they kind of paid a visit. But I'm not seeing anything on the dots or any spiritual orbs of any kind.
Oh, I found the item. I found the monkey pop.
Oh, go ahead and make some wishes then.
Nursery.
I think you can find where the ghost is located with that monkey's paw.
Do I just ask it? Where
I think it just activated with you asking that question.
Oh, I haven't touched it yet.
Oh, okay. First of all, the closet in the thing closed in the garage. So can someone go over there with a UV light for me to see if they left fingerprints? Muchas gracias, papi.
Which one is the UV light?
Should be the black one. Okay, now he's got it.
Hello.
Is it okay?
Where is the ghost?
Not sure. We don't have a visual.
Oh, I don't know how to ask the monkey paw.
I think you just say "I wish," and then the thing, or maybe just ask a question while holding it. See what happens. Oh, we got a missed form. We got a missed form. It's haunted. It's haunted. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out. No. Oh, no. Did we lose somebody? Oh, God.
I think.
No, we're here, I think.
Okay, we're fine. Everyone, good thing we all stay calm. But I think we got a spirit. We got a mist form, whatever the hell that means. So, I don't know if that's spirit orb, but it's a mist form. Can I like make circles? Did you see it? Right here, you can see this someone. Everyone run! Everyone run! Well, don't want to give some bad news, but yeah, someone died in the garage. just a heads up. Can confirm it was in fact Bappy. In fact, both of y'all come on out. You have 0 sanity. I don't know what y'all been doing over there, but you need to stop. Over.
Have you been hearing me over the radio or no?
No.
I haven't heard you know.
How about now?
Hold on. Let me step away from you.
have to hold-
I can hear you now.
How about now?
No. Are you hitting V instead of B?
Oh, are you holding it when you talk?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, okay. So I need to. Why is?
So I'm gonna go in there. Did you kill Babby?
Want this? I just said I wish, and then the fingers moved, and nothing happened. So maybe. You want this?
No, I appreciate it. I need to get my sanity because y'all's sanity is down. So I need to go in there.
Back in there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go in there. I think I saw it said a mist form, whatever the hell that is. It did knock down the camera. Is there anything else that we've tested that we have any positive or reading for?
I put down the ghost writing, and nothing happened. So I think we can rule that out.
Dots projector is also a no-go.
Okay, no dots. I don't think we've seen a ghost orb yet, but I think that's in pictures.
Is Ghost Orb in pictures? I thought Ghost Orb was like that's why I was checking the video. It said I saw a mist form, but I don't know if mist form is Ghost Orb or not because that's new. I don't know what mist form is.
I don't either.
I don't know if it classifies it or what.
We get. Oh, we detected a ghost presence with a motion sensor. Is that one?
Yeah, we already got that. We're good. All right. In that case, I'm gonna try to get a spirit box. I guess I'm gonna start taunting the crap out of it. So, y'all are gonna have a nice trip. All right, see y'all in a bit. Let me check your name real quick.
What was that?
All right, oh.
Still alive out there? We got a 10 activity happening.
No! I ran out of stamina! I ran out of stamina! No!
Can you hear me on the walkie?
Oh, hello.
Hi!
He's dead! He's dead! Look! You see how it says
Hello.
he immediately
So-
died.
You died at
Okay.
7% stamina. Sanity.
Well, if
That's-
we go back in there,
yeah.
we're dead.
So I think this is a very aggressive ghost.
Drive away.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I
so
mean,
go
I
to
was, I
Press
don't know
J,
how, but I was
and
in
you're
the
gonna
closet, I
click
was
the
holding
thing
the
that
door
says
in the closet,
evidence
and
at
it
the top.
got me through the
Yep,
closet
I'm
door.
already there.
Yeah. You know what?
It's
I'm gonna say
not
Revenant.
ghost writing, and it's not
Just-
shot
just
spectator.
gut.
I think
Just gut
we're gonna
feeling.
Click ghost
The thing
orb.
is, they don't know.
So it's either a Hantu, an Onryo, or an Obake. We're probably gonna be wrong here.
How do they get? How do they? How
But
do
then
they
you go to
remove
the ghost
Revenant?
Panel. You're gonna read. You're gonna click.
Oh,
on
they
it to,
didn't
like,
know.
remove
They didn't.
the
Hold on. Let's
Hantu.
check the journal. Where was that?
Journal. Oh, we bought the journal. I don't remember we did that.
She said
You
she
write
put
stuff in it?
it down, but where did she put it down?
Did she? I don't remember. We took a journal.
EMF is not. I think EMF is also a no-go.
Wait, where are you doing? Where are you going? What?
Is Clowny going inside? No.
Where did she put the journal? I'm not seeing it anywhere. That got knocked. I see that. I see that. Where did she put the journal? Huh. I wonder. I don't think she put it in the room that it should have been. It's not near my deathbed. Or just death. Huh? Is it up? Where'd she put the damn journal? I don't know where the bo. Seriously though, where is this?
Alright, I'm gonna let you know if it's cold or not, okay?
Is that a Ouija board?
Okay.
Why are they going back in? Why are they going back in? Hi.
Okay, I'm still alive. It is not freezing temperatures.
Okay, they're in the garage.
Actually, now it's going down. It's going down. Oh, my breath is cold. Okay.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times.
Okay.
She's probably dead.
It's throwing shit at me. Unless it's the boys that are dead. Stop throwing shit if you guys are dead. I'm pissed at y'all.
Can't. What?
Alright, it's going down. We're almost at 0. I think we're almost at freezing. Stop throwing shit at me, boys.
I didn't know we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we 100% can.
Stop it! I know it's you guys. Alright, we were at freezing temperatures. Freezing is yes. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Oh, I was probably right then. I think it is Revenant.
I didn't find any freezing temperature. I didn't find freezing temperature. I was checking only that. It never went below 0.
Ah. I'm still sticking with Revenant.
Getting it up, the timer up, so I can do that.
Double, don't you laugh at me. Okay.
Alrighty then. What are we doing?
Hey, Bappy.
Oh, yeah, we're back to the Dwarven boy.
I want to bring your
No,
attention
not Dwarven, this is Irish.
Yeah.
Oh,
to this picture that says my wish came true, but it came at what cost?
Okay,
And
we do have freezing
reaffirm that she killed you. Because
So what?
Ella, yeah, Ella had the monkey's paw, and then no sooner than we were talking about how to use it, did the thing awaken in the garage and kill you in the locker. So
Oh, you think?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
We didn't try the.
That's funny. You can throw stuff.
Would you boys stop throwing the cock gun?
Okay, I'm gonna vote.
No.
Then I think we're out of here.
What does
I'm
Onryo
throwing
do?
shit. I know it's you guys. You keep throwing things at me.
Onryo.
Alright, did
Keep
you
it
mark
up,
it on the
boys.
journal?
Extinguished flame can be on Oreo.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
The ghost is so annoying, but she's stuff it. Right?
It might be Onryo just from the firelight side thing, but we'll see.
We're doing good.
He's so annoying.
Morio.
Oh
Nah,
Which one was that one?
no
no!
idea.
Oh boy.
They kept throwing shit.
Oh, the ghost was so annoying throwing stuff all the time. Oh my God.
Morio. Not
No,
to be
you know the
confused with
Mario is the
Mario.
Alright, don't click leave. You
Mario.
click escape to leave that page.
Was risen from the grave to drainage from the living. They have been known to place curses on their victim, curable antidotes. The weaker the victims, the stronger the
I'm not
Morio
looking
becomes.
at
The weak? I wasn't weak! I was perfectly strong! What do you mean?
Yeah, you were fine. That was so weird.
I just
that's
walked in and
Wow.
died immediately!
It did get you, like, right away.
And you almost survived. I was so here. You were running.
Yeah, I was ring around the rosy, and then I
Taco.
ran out of stamina because these people apparently have never walked more than 3 feet in their life.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we're adding our flashlights back.
Yeah.
Gearbox. Book. EMF. Dots.
I lost all my other stuff, but it's okay.
Salt.
Alright, I have like a lot of money, so I don't want to brag, but like,
I got hella cash over here. I need
yeah.
to take it. How much you got? How much you got?
1750?
Oh, that's chump change.
What are you?
Sitting over here with 87.70.
Oh, cool. Then you can buy everything every time. Then have fun.
No.
Yep. No, that's all you.
You're just walking into the
I'm
wall.
just being a bitch.
Oh, well, really? Well, time to be a
Really?
boss,
Oh,
bitch.
Hey, this guy. I'm gonna remember this when we're playing Repo later. I think I'm gonna buy.
What are you gonna buy? I'll buy a cross. I'll get that.
We all have at least. Okay, and then we're gonna vote on where we want to go. You wanna try the farm?
You want?
Let's try the farm.
Which
No,
one?
you- Grafton Farmhouse.
Grafton Farmhouse.
You gotta like roll into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, you have to roll your R's.
Yeah.
Grafton.
You did it. Grafton.
I don't know how to say that.
Grafton.
Grafton.
Just think about crazy style. You know, you gotta bounce on it crazy style.
Love that.
It adds emphasis.
Y'all ready?
No, we're not ready.
Bam, bam.
I love the cutoff of you asking if we're ready. You ready? And then we're out. We're out the door.
Everyone was. I like the cutoff. It's very funny.
3 unique photos with the photo camera, 2 unique paranormal sounds, the sound recorder, and cleanse the area the most with the incense. I don't think we have any of those.
I have the camera.
You do have camera. Okay.
Yes. And then I'm gonna grab ghost writing. So at least we.
I'll at least go around with UV.
I have a ghost finder.
Perfect.
I'll also get salt. I don't know what it's for, but we'll use it.
So, for the event thing, do
Uh-huh.
you get anything for doing it?
Extra money.
Money. Yeah. I think there's like a little
Okay.
like pretty stuff. Oh, this is so scary and all the red.
Oh, the red.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't want to go there.
Scary.
Nothing like blood rain and a bad flashlight to really make this good. Let's see here. Do you got a permit for all these candles? I don't think so. This toilet hasn't been cleaned for 2 years. That's a fee. That's a clean toilet fee if I've ever seen one. I don't think they've been paying their taxes either. I just made a giant loop. Don't mind me. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Yes. I don't see any blacklight.
Zombie Apocalypse Ella, yeah. Oh, I watched Train to Busan for the first time. That's a very good movie.
Where are you guys?
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet, actually.
You would love it. It's very good. I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Happy, these are the ghost friends. We've all died.
Okay, no.
Ooh.
Hello.
We're just figments of your psychological trauma. Ooh. We're your personification of your unanswered emotional issues with your parents.
I
Ooh.
went upstairs, but I didn't find. I left the bedroom, so.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking around to look for any kind of prints. Let's see here. Shelly.
I did something.
Shelly, give us a sign.
What? Is that useful?
The lights work if you need to turn them on.
We don't. Why do we need lights when there's no roof?
Because fear. I am a fear. I am scared.
You are fear. Got it.
It is me. I am the embodiment of fear.
You certainly are, in a way.
Nothing on the ghost meter. Yeah. I am a demon cat girl, so you know, maybe some of these readings are weird.
Yeah, maybe you're kind of setting it off on your own.
Sorry guys. Are you guys not able to hear me again?
No, I can hear you.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. Okay. Just making sure.
No, that's good to double check. Let me know if y'all see anything that's moved, like a door or whatever, because I'm looking for prints.
Okay.
I just got cold breath.
All right, coming to you.
Where? Where? Downstairs.
Storage room?
Towards the very back of the house, I think.
I'll come find you guys. You come find me.
Okay. Oh, the light's flickering. Uh-oh.
Okay, this way.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully you.
Oh, no, that's the yeah, this one.
Hello? Turn around. I'm behind you. Go back. Do you see my flashlight? Turn around. There you are. Hello.
Oh.
Found me.
With you.
Hi.
In this room, the lights flickering.
Yeah, this is definitely the room.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any prints. Oh, wait. No.
Whoa! That scared me so bad. Hello.
Is there
Thank you,
any
Sleepy.
spot?
Thank you for the follow. That's some funky ghost breathing. I know.
What are you doing? Get out of here.
Moving on.
Ooh. An opening and closed door. Ooh.
alerts are all fucked up today. So when one person does something, like 60 alerts go off.
Oh, that's always fun.
Oh, in the salt, in the salt.
In the salt, there's a footprint. I think this is the room.
Take a picture. Take a picture.
Got it. I got it. I took a picture.
What if we are the one working the salt? What happened?
No, it's not possible. Only Ghost can.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We are.
What do you have, like,
in
actual feet?
we
That's
are
gross.
going to salt.
Oh, wait, guys! Tarot cards! Let's go!
Wait, let me take a picture.
Alright,
Hey,
there you go.
Nori, thanks for the follow.
I don't think we got temperature.
Alright,
because
are y'all ready for this? Cause I'm not. Let's go!
Let's do it.
What happened?
The moon!
Here we go.
Salt over here.
Yes, but look, this is the.
I don't know what the moon does, but I got it. Next one!
And the
Hermit.
rockets arrive.
I think that makes it appear in the room?
We're gonna see the ghost.
Maybe?
Ooh,
I forget.
You got cold. Time to
We
get
got temperature. We got temperature. It's below 0. It went to
Below 0? Okay.
Okay, we got freezing.
We got freezing. I don't think we have ultraviolet, by the way. I've looked everywhere. I haven't found a single thing.
Oh, here
I'm gonna
comes-
pull another one! You can't get me! Hermit again, baby! Let's go! Oh! Oh! I put him away! The hermit puts him away. That's funny.
Are you alive?
Yeah.
We need to
did, I
move.
think. Oh no, we're being haunted again.
Is it still on you?
I think it's
No?
haunting.
Yeah, but who? Clown? Yes.
I'll do what they would never suspect. Another tarot card. Haha! The devil. That's probably bad. That's probably bad. What I got was probably a bad idea.
I just heard a ghost whisper in my ear.
Yeah, same. He just.
Oh.
I need to find a way to hide. Because I got the devil card.
Doo-dah.
I pulled the devil card all the day.
Oh,
shut the door.
okay.
We're stuck in the house. Level 10. Activity level 10. Oh no. Yeah, we're being haunted right now. Yeah, I think idealist is at 0%, so he will probably die. Good luck.
Pull one for the road. You can't get me. Wheel of Fortune, baby. Let's go. Never punished. Never punished.
Oh, you're alive.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
I pulled a lot of cards.
Not go.
Here you go, guys. You pull some cards from there. That's pretty fun. I don't think you can pull it out here, but
No, we cannot.
we need one more photo of something unique.
Okay.
Take a photo of me. I'm unique.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. We know what room it is. Clown and I have like almost no sanity left. Just so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do we?
I'll set up a camera.
Okay.
Because we got
What can I
freezing
do?
temperature, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it's UV.
EMF. Is that EMF?
Surely they're not still mad at me. Like, guys, it was so 5 minutes ago. Hey, look, you're not still mad about me pulling all those cards, are you?
Wait, did we get an EMF, idealist?
I did not have AMF, so I do not know.
Which one it is? Idealist?
All right, camera set up.
What room it is? No! The door closed. No. Idealist, you still alive? Yes, he is being haunted.
No. Yeah,
Help me! Help me! No! No!
Poppy, don't die.
That'd be cool if I could talk on the radio. That would have been really funny. I think I can see dots in real life if I'm a ghost. There's a lot of noises happening. Anything? Maybe I should go...
Okay, Ipad.
Maybe I should go to the thing. Maybe I could see it from their perspective? Question mark? Ah, there's my body. All that workout. And for what? For what I tell you.
Sense area, we don't have incense. Okay. We're also all at like 1%. I don't think we ever got... I'm gonna go look to see if we got
Let's
ghost
look.
writing. If I die, good luck.
Let's see here.
Wait,
L-
I think that's
let us-
okay. Wait.
Why can't I just look at it?
What was that?
I mean, that's not the best camera placement, I'm willing to admit.
Yes, we have to go. You going with me?
Alright, we're keeping an eye on this. Where are the eye in the sky?
We're going to the
Kinda.
back room. Over here. It's definitely this back room. The back rooms? Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I've always wanted to play those games. Okay, I don't think.
Are we sure?
Hello? Y'all live? I'm still live. I was getting static.
No, they're definitely in there.
Alright. Everybody now is at 0. Okay, I think Bappy just died. We had EMF 5 and there is no ghost rating. Yep, Bappy's dead.
Shade or Oni, huh? Shade would be
Said we had
ghost writing.
EMF 5, but no ghost writing.
He said that, yeah. So, no ghost
They're
rating.
here, though. Okay.
Let's say Oni, I guess.
I didn't see anything in Dot's projector, so it's either... I'm just gonna guess Jin or twins, so... What's the Jin?
I probably would assume the Jin.
Let's do Jen.
But I'm not sure.
I forget what I said it wasn't.
Ultraviolet, freezing
Ultraviolet.
temperatures. We got freezing, we got EMF 5.
Yeah,
I didn't see any ultraviolet anywhere.
The twins interact with the environment, and I feel like we didn't get very environment.
Oh, I'm gonna switch to the twins
I'm
then.
gonna-
There were actually a good amount of environmental noises.
Jin. All right,
Let's see who's right.
That's just my
Let's see
guess.
who's right.
Scary. Because we never got dots,
I have
right?
no
Yeah.
idea.
All right. close
Yeah,
that
dots
door.
is essentially a no-go, from what I could tell.
Stop throwing things. They're throwing boxes.
Much dots at the last possible second. It's dots. It's dots.
They're just throwing
no
stuff
dots,
at
what?
me.
Welcome back.
Yori.
We were so wrong. We were so wrong.
Yori.
Oh, June.
What the hell is a Yori? Let's see.
I don't even know. Something like that ain't out here. I don't
The
know.
only Yori I know. No, wait. That's Yowie.
Wait,
Never mind.
Whoa.
Ret-
Go to the physical world usually for the purpose
So-
of revenge or hatred.
so- I call bull. Apparently, Yuri was Dot's projector and Ghost
Well, he's
Orb,
not
but I
moving
didn't
on
see
dots.
any dots or Ghost Orbs. So
Oh.
It's either we were in the wrong
Well-
spot or like I call malarkey.
I call malarkey too. I agree.
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
Malarkey. You know what's always fun too?
Bull.
The challenge level. I forget what it is or how to look it, but usually they give us all the items, and we just have to do our best.
Yeah, that's so special. Like we did it
That's
last
true.
time.
That one's always
We
fun.
could do that again. Do we want to do like one more maybe of like a harder map, and then we can
Yeah.
switch that?
Yeah. It was
I am
only
buying
a
us a ton of stuff then for our next one.
I'm just surprised.
sugar mommy, sugar mommy.
I'll take care of my babies, don't you worry. I got you all them stuff.
Let's go.
That's why I raise her up every stream.
Reset in 5 days. Challenge mode. Lansdale Farmhouse. Yeah.
Okay, I think I've added.
I definitely got more than that. Oh, maybe it's because I'm not. This isn't my place.
One look.
And I just loaded us up, boys. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ew, ew, ew. Not in my ears. No, no.
Oh, sorry.
Why don't we do the last event one? The Bleasdale Farmhouse.
Yeah.
Event one.
Bleasdale.
Bleasdale? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, what I will do? Let me while we're here, let me run to the restroom real quick.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I am also
I will do the
going-
same. Well,
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
push to talk. How do I? I'm just gonna do this. Boop. No device. Ha 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 ha. And apply. Now you can't hear me at all.
Gone. We can't hear him anymore.
Be right back, guys.
Okay, I also will be right back. I'm gonna go get more water.
All by myself. So chat, how's everybody doing? Burn it all. Burn everything to the ground. Oh, I'm sure. I am sure.
All right, I'm back. Except they can't hear me.
All of the fire.
And now you can hear me. Hey, Marble. How you doing? How you doing, girl? Yes, I know. You just had a nice nap. Yeah. You're also the reason why I had to set up in the bedroom instead of the living room, because you can be a lot. You know.
Oh, yeah, you said your dog said, right?
Yeah. I'm dog sitting for a friend for a week.
Nice. What breed?
She is a bunch of different things, but I think her main two are Husky and German Shepherd.
I'm back.
That's
No,
a good
she's
little-
she's a cutie, but she's too smart for her own good.
Well, yeah, when you mix those two breeds together, that's a really
Yeah.
smart dog.
Yeah. She also has abandonment anxiety issues. And her mom just
Ooh.
left for a week, so
Oh.
um one story that I like to share, and one of the ways to kind of shine light on her deviousness, one time while she was staying over at my place, she ran out of the door while it was cracked open, and
Oh no.
and I had to chase her down across the entire neighborhood trying to get her.
Oh my god.
Everyone was laughing. They're having a great time just seeing the guy screaming, "Marble! Marble!" It was a great time for everyone else. Got my cardio that day, definitely.
Oh, I bet.
Well,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
All right, I think we're ready.
Wait, do we choose? Okay.
Oh, we have to
Oh,
reset us.
sorry. Boop. There you
That's
go.
Okay. Here we go.
Y'all still can't time the cutoff, huh? Have a member of your team
Alright,
witness a
what do we
ghost
got?
event. Impossible. That's the impossible task. No, the impossible task is survive a ghost hunt. Capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder. Don't have that. Capture a photo of the ghost. That's also hard. Best of luck, whoever has the camera.
I did grab a sound recorder.
Oh,
right
you
here.
we did. Okay, I'll go around
Yeah.
listening. Just looking for the ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also got us an extra camera, so this time we don't run out of film.
No, I can't pick up my flashlight. There we go.
What I will do is
People who are alone. Becky Johnson.
oh. I don't think I added flashlight. Crap.
We'll be your flashlights. We'll be your light. Your guiding light.
You're always the light of my life.
Somebody already got a voice recorder?
Yeah, he grabbed it. I don't remember this map, if I'm being honest.
All right.
Oh, I do remember this map. Ooh.
Zelda, I will.
Okay. I can't hear y'all. Just a heads up.
About now. Oh, yes.
Oh, actually, it's a little better on the radio.
Okay, heck yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, I got whispers over here in this general direction. All right.
From the main door to the left.
The room I'm in now. See if there's any other signs. I'm gonna look in the peripheral to see if maybe it was like an angle. Let's see. Oh? Is there anything here? Okay, that goes out.
Actually, it's really warm in
I see the blood moon thing that we need to interact with in the backyard.
Are we safe here?
How do we get back there?
Are we safe here?
I don't know. Probably not. Pretty much, if you aren't talking in the radio, I'm not going to be able to hear you well. Just a heads up.
There is warm temperature, like it's rising in that dining room we were in.
Interesting. I'm going to interact with the blood moon. Keep an ear out for things happening. Well, anything happen? I found a hoe.
What's her name?
I didn't ask. Let's see. Where? Oh, where? Oh, I hear crunch, but that could have been just allies. I hear movement outside. Hi. I'm hearing like crunchy feet, like dirt. Is there an upstairs? Maybe we should check upstairs. Let's see. I'm seeing blinking, which makes me think that there's something somewhere. Good job, Idealist. That's certainly a sentence. There's something somewhere. Something smelly. The smelly smell.
Alright, gang, let's split up and search for clues.
That always works.
Anybody find a Scooby snack?
Not yet, but I'm hot on its trail.
Yeah, there's like nothing happening. I know it says it reacts if we're alone, so.
I think we can just tell.
But
Oh, God.
I'm always with you, bro. You're never alone.
Thanks, bro. like bones, fossil?
No, like fossil in the collection thingy.
Oh.
Ooh. I found a very vibrant cake.
I'm upstairs.
What about upstairs?
The lights just turned off, and there's like sounds.
Oh, on my way. Did someone say sounds?
Okay, yeah, the power is out.
Oh, that might have been it then. So this might actually not be a thing then. Alright. Besides that one room, I haven't been able to really find any sounds.
Still not getting anything on the EMF reader.
Like nothing.
Oh, it's 2 paranormal sounds with a sound recorder.
Tarot card.
Oh,
Guy,
take a picture of those.
it's
I don't
it
have a camera.
Yeah, they're upstairs. I don't have a camera too either.
we needed
Okay,
2
where
sounds
are
for
you?
sound
I have a
recorder.
crystal ball as well.
Oh, there. Okay.
Where is it then?
The attic. What do I do with a crystal ball?
Are you near? I still don't know how to do this recorder, so I'm going to be talking nonsense. Hey Becky, how's it going? You wouldn't kill me, would you?
I found the monkey paw.
I found the circuit breaker.
I found nothing.
Becky, where are you? Are you near? I always hate this question, but it's the only other question that I know. Becky, how old are you? Oh.
Everybody okay?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh no.
Idealist?
Oh no. I used the monkey paw and all the lights went out and something happened.
Did you kill Idealist?
You killed me! You killed me! Hey Becky, how you doing? You got mad because of the thing, didn't you? Hmm.
Idealist? You alive?
He's probably dead.
I died.
Where are you guys?
I wish for the ghost to show up.
Is this moving? Well, it definitely like came out. I'm lost. It definitely. Oh, was it outside? Oh. Interesting. The thing's levitated. It's outside. Oh, it's out here. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's definitely out here. Well, they don't know that. What causes levitation? Let's see if I can give them hints. Where are they? Where are you? Oh, so sorry.
Oh shit, uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
Where is the exit?
Okay.
Over here.
This is the door, this is the door. Oh, are we being hunted?
Oh! Probably.
Bubby? Bubby? I
Yeah,
can't
we
get the
are.
door! Bubby! Bubby! Running.
What?
Please don't touch me, I'm sterile! I'm sterile! No!
You okay?
No!
Hello? 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 You alive? Hello?
I didn't know you were sterile. Oh wait, hold on. It's doing the weird sound thing. You have to step outside to step back inside. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, it's better now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi.
By the way, she's outside.
What?
Hi.
Yeah, not in the front, but in the back. There's like a little. She's been coming in from outside.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a tree circle back there.
Oh shit.
But one of the things I did notice when she runs, things levitate.
Ooh.
That feels like a special ghost trait, but I haven't found
Yeah.
which one that is. It's definitely one that I don't know of.
No, same.
Let's see.
Journal real quick.
Let's see. Upon entering a
This-
location,
I-
become active.
I don't think I ever got freezing temperatures. That doesn't help.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's
That's
leaving.
way
He's just going. He's
All
just
right.
going.
Yuri, I guess. No, Goryo. Why not? Demon. All right.
Oh,
Demon.
We got a
Wow.
demon. Which
God
one?
damn.
Well,
Which
demons will initiate hunts more often. That's true. So I guess the floating stuff had nothing to do with it.
I guess.
and there was freezing temperature.
Or
because
you
of
know
it.
what? Oh.
What?
I think maybe because it's at a very aggressive.
It was
ghost,
aggressive.
Maybe that's why it was like throwing stuff. Maybe that's a sign of aggression. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, it wasn't even throwing. It was like as it was walking through, like the things that it would pass through would levitate off the ground.
You know what? I know what happened. That was my cousin. You know, it just as a demon cat girl.
Oh. Listen, if you have family in
realized-
town, you need to let us know. Like that.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know he was here.
Okay, that's
Really
fair.
thought he
Family
was
event
going
later.
to go kill you.
Yeah.
No. He was just bringing me back.
I see.
Okay.
So is it like a kind of like a prank? It's just a prank, bro, kind of
Yeah.
deal, or
Haha,
Yeah.
killed you and your friends. Oh no.
that is a very demon thing to do. So I don't.
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense.
the
Yeah, it
thing.
is.
Okay.
Okay, let's do one of the funky events. Let's do one of these, the event boards.
Event boards. Oh well.
Or wait, oops.
Okay.
What is
Yeah, the
this?
Crimson Eye. We just need to continue doing
Hey!
stuff.
Yeah. we're getting there, the
Sunny
foil-
Meadows Festival.
Happy said, "Nah, I'm good," and dipped. Yep, yes he did.
Yep.
Yep.
Can you blame him
Yeah,
though?
no, I'm leaving.
And I do
Can
not
you
I'm not
blame
blaming
the
them.
man?
Mm,
Where's the lie? Oh, where? Where? Where's the ghost? Where's the ghost? Ah.
How do you select them?
Oh, you need what was his name? Pedro? Pedro? I forget the one in the costume's name, but we gave him a name at one point.
Oh, the Ranger challenge. We did that once. It was so scary.
Oh yeah, we did the lighthouse one. That one was scary. And then we did the camp one,
Oh
and like
no,
it died
yeah, you can-
immediately.
Yeah, the camp one. I remember. Oh no.
That one was crazy.
Oh.
All right, let's see here.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, I
Which one of
think.
these sounds interesting.
Well, I think the event one that I was talking,
Cinematic.
the weekly event one that I was talking about, is something
Mhm.
selectable from the difficulty menu.
Oh, from
Y'all.
The, oh, hold on. Let me go back from the on the thing. Let's go look.
Yeah.
Aw, difficulty amateur.
Oh, by the way, if you don't
Whoa.
want to go all the way to it, you can just hit spacebar.
Oh, that's good to know.
Y'all.
Thank you, clown, scaring me. It sucks because my alert thing tells me first.
Mm-hmm.
You should maybe turn that off for the jump scares.
I don't know how. Oh, challenge mode. There it is.
It's a customization thing on Twitch.
Oh, I'll have to mess with it. Do you want to do the challenge mode where we only get audio equipment?
Yeah.
How do
Okay,
you get
I'm gonna
audio
play it,
equipment?
and then we have to do the Bleasdale farmhouse.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's the only one we're allowed to do.
Where is it? I only have 635 more to go. Where'd it go?
Come on.
All right. On my way. Ooh, interesting. Good thing I'm really good at basketball. I had one shot, and I failed. Prevent the ghosts from hunting using a crucifix. I forgot the flashlights again. Oh wait,
think
I
we did
don't.
everything.
Oh wait,
This
it don't
is a
matter.
challenge.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's
We
right.
don't have flashlights.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have no flashlights.
Crucifix.
Oh, we have flashlights.
Flashlights are on the side.
Okay.
So we need a picture,
It's not.
crucifix.
Are they?
I got camera.
Where are the
Capture
flashlights?
photo. I have
Some
EM,
of that.
EMT.
Oh, these are actual flashlights. Okay.
Yeah, these are real ones.
Oh, you have that thing.
These are
Hi,
like
Rio.
actual
Real
flashlights.
ones.
Yeah.
And then we need a firelight. And then eventually a
Don't
crucifix.
remember
Yeah.
what this thing.
I don't remember.
assuming this is a
Sound. We want. All right. All right. I have the thing on as well, so I'm not gonna be able to hear y'all again.
Okay, thank you. I think I have this.
You said it's easier for us to talk in the microphone thing, right? For you, the walkie-talkie.
Oh. Yeah, this is a really like they did a really good job, honestly. Oh. Okay, that's them. That's them being all noisy. I'm not seeing anything.
I found the blood moon.
Crack it.
I have some sound upstairs, but I don't know if that's you guys.
I am walking upstairs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you.
I'm gonna check upstairs as well. All right, let's see. Let's see here. We got this. Boo. Oh. Oh, that's you. Okay. It's two multiple. Oh, I got a weird whisper. It looked like it was upstairs. Is there an attic?
There's an attic in the house.
How do we get up there?
Stairs, I assume.
I got lights turning on and off
Where?
outside. Back porch.
Oh, those are auto lights. They just turn on when you walk around.
Oh.
That'll do it. Where are these damn stairs?
Oh, I found it. I found the attic. I'm upstairs.
Oh, where? Okay, cool. Yeah, there's definitely some. They're definitely in the attic.
Ooh, of course they are. This is terrible.
All right, I'm not using the sound anymore. I'm doing EMV.
We're upstairs. Going for items. Ooh, the bead curtain. Love that.
Yeah, such a vibe.
Yes.
Right, those bead curtains are awesome.
They are.
Crystal ball. Will I fall in love? It doesn't say anything.
Are you going upstairs?
Did you drop something?
I didn't drop. Oh,
Oh, it's gone. Oh.
okay. That's ghost beads.
Happy you're okay, I promise.
No.
No, okay.
All right.
Oh, what's that thing?
I'm gonna start setting things up in here. I'm gonna leave the the thing in here.
I'm gonna put my candle
Now to find my way out of here. Place is like a damn maze. Let's see here. Would I be able to find my way? Okay, I think I can find my way back out.
Oh, I'm getting cold breath upstairs in the attic.
We might be able to do freezing temps. I don't know if we will have a way to determine that, though. Crucifix. Throw that up there. Blow out firelight. Okay. I'm coming with firelight and a crucifix.
Okay, I think I have the firelight upstairs at the candelabra, but I think we still need the matches, so I'm headed back.
Oh, actually, I'll grab matches instead then.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a thermometer.
What is that thing?
Huh? That's the cleansing smoke that will save your life if you're being hunted. Hi.
I feel like I'm not doing much of it.
Hello.
Candelabra. Surely you will not attack me while I am vulnerable. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I did that, but it just felt right. Let's see here. I'm assuming they put it on the other side of the beads. If I had to guess. Where's the candelabra?
Up in the attic.
It should
I
be
am
on
in-
the ground in the center.
In the center on the ground.
In front of the desk with the cup of coffee.
Desk with a cup of coffee. Did y'all take the orb?
Yep.
I did not.
Found it, I guess.
There's no orb
How
anymore.
do we turn on our head cameras?
I thought it was already on. Let's see here.
Oh, yes. Now I can see one.
Apparently it's hold T.
Yes, yes, it's now working.
Yeah, you didn't hear me say that because I didn't put on the walk.
That would explain it. By the way, I'm looking in front of the desk with coffee. I'm still not seeing the candelabra. Unless there's just an, oh wait, no, found it. Never mind, found it.
Power of Christ compels. As I die.
Can I pick this up, please? Sir, can I please? Can I pick this up? Can I pick up the damn? I'm gonna lose my mind. Why can't I pick this up? Spamming E like my life depended on it.
I can see what everyone is seeing except for Idealist.
Okay, cool. You don't want to see what I'm doing.
What do you mean?
I can't pick up this matchbox, man. That should have done it.
Alright, I'm coming. I gotta just remember where the hell I'm supposed to go.
Why can't I pick it up? Can I pick it?
Alright, we're all set up at least. There's no activity. Idealist is the only one with the lowest sanity.
Not surprising in the slightest.
I'm gonna try to get a picture, but I don't think we've seen anything.
Alright, where's this matchbox you can't pick
No,
up?
I got it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
But I want to use it, but I can't.
What are you trying to do?
All right.
Anybody got a thermometer on? Is my breath steam?
I do not.
Poppy,
What?
do you have a thermometer?
A what?
Thermometer?
No, we can't. We don't have one. We don't have one because we had one
Okay.
Yapping for the sound.
Oh, crucifix burn.
What's that?
Oh,
That is a
Burning. We got burning crucifix.
did you pick? Oh, I picked it up. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is.
Hello? Are you alive?
All right, candle is lit.
I am alive. I'm just lost trying to find how to get back to the attic.
All right, I'm going back for more supplies.
Hey, we got Untitled.
Peppy, you alive?
No, someone just died.
Nope, he just died.
It burned through the whole crucifix, huh? I'll grab a second crucifix.
He said something about it's a with an L. I think.
A what with an L? Thanks, Detective
I don't
Pikachu.
know,
Appreciate it.
And it sounded like an L, and then he died.
Ugh. Interesting. Okay. All right. So,
Hell yeah.
did we only have one crucifix?
Yeah, or we left one in there. I don't know. I never grabbed one.
Okay.
I did, and it burned.
Oh,
Okay.
Completely.
I grabbed
And it did
another and
count.
it burned.
Okay.
Or-
so
Okay.
Or at the very least, it was on the ground. I don't know if it burned or not. I don't know if they work different now, but they used to. You throw it on the ground in the room, and then it will burn instead of killing you.
Oh.
Okay, let's see here. Capture photo of ghost. So, do we have any evidence?
No, we have nothing. So
Cool. Good job, us. We got this. Easy.
Yep.
Well, first I'm gonna pick up camera.
Don't even
This-
have a monkey paw.
I think this is dots.
I think I just grabbed dots.
You did? Do you have video camera then?
I have photo camera, yes.
Video camera.
No, I have camera, not
You have
video,
camera,
not
camera.
video.
No video camera. So we have dots, but no video camera.
Unless this is dots. This is dots.
What is this? This is motion sensor. Gotcha.
Okay, I got it. Alright, I just need to be taught how to go back up there. Also, our activity is just at 10.
Alright.
Yeah, they're mad.
Also, you're dead, Idealist. Your sanity is 0.
Huh? What?
Okay, come with me, Ella.
Your sanity is at 0.
Ah, we're fine.
I don't know. Alright, we go upstairs, right? And then I don't remember how to get
Yep.
there.
I'll show you. There's a...
Oh, they're throwing pictures. Aggressive, maybe?
Well, I mean, it is going on 10 constantly. The fact that he got so pissed off from the crucifix makes me think demon.
Oh, thank you. This is
We
why.
might have made it a little bit angry, but I don't remember if demon is weak to it or is just it pisses it off more.
Twilight.
Nope. Mask it.
Oh.
Well,
How do I?
hey, how you doing? Well, sweet.
Well.
Can you write in the journal? Oh? I saw you pass by here. Well, that'll do it. Hey, it's coming. I would run.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, no! Take the picture! Take the picture! Hey, you didn't let me take your picture. That's really mean. So rude. Hey, how you guys doing?
I'm leaving now. I got my phone.
Did we get it? We got it! Let's go!
I'm gonna go. I threw something. I swear to God.
That was me.
Oh my
Yeah, good job.
God, this game is actually
Alright, so I
What
don't
was
think
it?
it's demon.
dead. 0.
I like being
Hey,
dead,
we got
but not
everything though.
Dying.
Kill my teammate. Now I'm the only one left. I'm sorry. Finally.
Alright, so let's see here. Let's see here.
Pictures of all 3 of your bodies.
Detective is saying...
okay. Time to brain blast. I don't.
Says it maybe Moro. I couldn't see that. Yeah,
I
unfortunately.
wanna just click demon because it was scary.
Let's see what
I know
Moro's
what it
is.
Oh, I don't
said
think we
she
ever
was going
checked
to put the demo
EMF.
because it's
I
good.
did put up dots, and dots did not go through. I don't think we ever.
Oh, Risen from the Grave. Oh, that's the placing curse one. That one I'm not used to.
Ghostwriting, but I don't think we ever put it down. So I don't
Fast if
know.
your sanity is low.
Did we ever
Oh.
Did we ever hit freezing? It was cold. I'm starting to think it's
Bobby.
demon. I don't want to waste everyone's time.
It could have been
It
freezing.
spawned on me, and I was
Yeah,
like,
let's just do
oh,
more.
I'm dead.
Like, that's as
I-
good as a
when it
guess
starts,
as any at this
until
I
point.
don't even know
He
what
was
that
on me.
is.
I don't know. I guess
Who
she
threw
will
an
try
urn
to
in
figure
here?
it
Ah, Myling, of course. Oh, why didn't I think of that? What the hell's a Myling?
Wait a second. Who threw that in here?
Whoever's throwing shit at me, I'm mad at you.
Dang it! I hit leave this time! No! Oh, fuck. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Alright, hold on. We're gonna join it again. Multiplayer. Oh, did I accidentally quit? I actually quit the game. I suck. I'm bad. All right. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. All right? Relax. Chill. 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 We're going to test my lane, opening a flashlight and dropping your flashlight into the ground in the hiding spot. It's a my lane. Interesting. You are very experienced in this game, Detective. I love it. All right. 1 second. Boop. Let me just pull up. I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh no, y'all can't see the code. Oh no, like that's totally not something that was on purpose. That's crazy. Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi, that was crazy. My game crashed. Yeah.
Oh no.
Totally crashed.
Oh,
It is
that's totally
totally didn't hit leave and then accidentally hit the exit game button after a lag of you trying to join. So I didn't completely close down the whole game.
Right.
Star Beast, what the hell, man? What do you running me out for? I mean, no, I mean he's lying. He's lying. He's straight up lying.
Yeah.
Don't believe
Do we
him.
want to try that challenge again?
I'm down.
Okay, hell yeah.
This one is really hard. Like, how do you find the ghost?
We found the ghost. We just need to figure out how to narrow it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we find? It's easy to find him. How do you find which one it is?
Yeah.
Difficile.
How do we differentiate that?
It is hard, yes. And we're also it's a lot to learn.
I'm not sure. It's just challenge mode. At least from my perspective, Detective.
Yeah,
Perspective
that's the one
detective.
which is sound. We're trying to do sound stuff. Is the challenge.
Sound stuff. Is EMF, UV, and writing. It looked like it was about to write in the journal, and then it proceeded to want to break my neck. So, like...
And it did.
It
immediately
it
did after
it did. It did. Yeah.
Woo.
It said, I could write in this journal.
Or I'll write it in your blood, and then just
No.
kills me. And then dragged my body to the journal and then wrote in it.
Yeah. Also, you're right, Meowie. This game is better with people who are learning. I think it's more fun. I think when people know everything about this game, it doesn't give anyone a chance to learn.
There you go.
Well, I'm glad I can be the.
I don't know what any of this.
No,
means.
no, you're doing great, and it's also Bappy's second time, so y'all are doing good. Don't you worry about it. I don't remember how to play this game.
Wait, we're not here to be tryhards? Then why are we here? What are we doing here?
Exactly what I said. I said, you know what you are doing. Clown is just listening to you, and we are scared.
And we're about to be scared again. Boo.
Boo.
Boo. Okay.
Boo.
It's blow out a firelight, get an average sanity below 25, easy, and have a member of your team escape the ghost story.
We're not getting that one. We're not getting that third one. That third one's impossible.
Alright, grabbing a flashlight. I'm grabbing dots this time. I'm gonna set it up right away.
I'm gonna do sound to look. Someone grab. Oh no, I grabbed it. Ha ha ha. Haha, don't look at me. And then we will add... This is easy challenge mode. Well, good thing we're getting it on the first try. Am I right, Detective?
Yeah, first game ever, guys.
First game. No one look into it. Yeah. Did someone already grab candles?
I figured we'd figure out the room first and then come back and grab that.
Okay.
Last time and
then I'm
just kind of waited.
Yeah. If y'all get dots, then I guess I'll just grab camera.
I got dots and audio.
Okay. We got this. Alright. Let's lock in. Oh, I heard a little creaky creak. Creaky creak. Go for it. crack it. All right, they're upstairs. What do we? Who is this? Stacy? Stacy, show us a sign. Oh? Stacy, where are you? Okay, that's them walking. Oh, all right, I'm cracking a moon. Keep an ear out.
Responses on the EMF.
In the attic?
No, it just flashed for a second.
It could be in the hallway. Music box, that's fun.
Just pull the Zach bag and install it until it attacks you.
Oh, hold on. I got some singing.
Where you at?
It was on the very corner of the sonar, so it was downstairs.
I'm going downstairs to join you. Oh, I just got EMF upstairs, EMF 3. I just heard it say an elderly victim.
I think it's outside. I'm cracking another moon, because why not? Honestly, the songs were like on the moon, so I don't know if that was just the moon or not.
Okay, I definitely got spirit box. Spirit boxes, yes.
Alright, you got it, detective. Was I crazy? Was I blind? It was like right on the peripheral, and it was definitely singing. It was right when I was on the stairs. And it was just kind of like right here. See? It's like, it's right over there, but I don't think we can get over there.
I just turned the power back on.
Oh. Where is that? Alright, I keep hearing it, but I keep on thinking it might be outside.
It's definitely spirit box.
Like, it's right over there that I'm getting it. It's probably upstairs. It's not giving me any arrows, though. That's the issue. It's saying it's over there, but there's nothing over there. I checked the backyard, but besides the moon thing, I didn't see anything else. See? See? Is that just red herrings? Maybe it's red herrings. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's make-believe. Because I'm not seeing a way to get over there. Okay. I heard singing, though. The first thing I heard was ghost singing. I was trying to get to the side of the house, but I wasn't seeing a way over there.
Through the kitchen, there should be a door.
Oh, I know. There's like a back area, but it was like to the side.
I found the side door.
Does anyone know what the funky looking microphone does?
It helps pinpoint sounds. You can like point it in a direction, and it will let you know if you hear anything, so you can then triangulate. It was the other side, not this one.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm more and more suspect of those sounds. I don't think they're real. I could just be crazy. Let's see. Oh. Oh. I got someone playing an instrument. Over here. Yep. Oh, wait. You're playing the instrument. You son of a... Get out of here. Alright. Let's try to actually go upstairs this time. Yeah, I don't either. I think it's just red herrings.
I'm trying to record some of the sound. Do we have any idea on what room it could be?
No.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to the attic.
Hell yeah.
Where I got the spirit box.
Why not? Why not? Yeah, but the more the merrier. Sure, we might not do it. Oh. That's we're on the side of the house that's giving red herrings all over the place, so it's probably not that.
I'm gonna use the sound thing so I can't hear you guys, so please use walkie-talkie.
All right. Yeah, it's in the attic.
It is definitely upstairs. I just got the sound thing.
Yeah, you and me both. Ghost laugh.
Definitely upstairs in the attic.
Yeah, it's in the bead room.
Level 10, level 10, level 10. Level 10 activity. I'm not sure of me, but it's a level 10 activity.
Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it?
Is everyone alive? Hello? Idealist. Yeah? Idealist what?
He died asking if he got.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey! We done it! Let's go! Ghost unique! Yo, yo, yo! $15 worth of death. Oh. Oh.
I don't know who is alive, but you are the last one. Clown. Oh, God. Oh,
Ooh, what's
Ella.
this?
I don't know which one, but you are the last one.
Oh, that's like a candle holder.
Okay, I think Ella died too. I don't see a camera.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Hey. Hi!
Hi. Do we know what it is?
No. Only that we both managed to find it at the exact same time, and it got really mad about it.
Yeah.
But
Were
I
you
did take a picture
upstairs
of
the
it.
whole time? Oh.
No,
You did? Nice.
I literally went upstairs because every single time I was on my way upstairs, I was hearing things outside, and I couldn't find a way to get to it, realizing that they weren't real. So.
Oh shit, that's freaky. Ugh.
No.
The only thing I can guarantee with Spirit Box, and I don't think we ever got freezing temperatures.
Spirit Box didn't get freezing temps. Wait, is Wraith the defensive one or Spirit the defensive one? They defend their place of death utmost degree. I'm thinking it might be Spirit, because it really didn't do anything until we came to that area, and then suddenly it's getting super aggressive. It could have been just bad timing, but
Yeah, the fact that we both died like right away.
yeah.
Okay. Let's go see what they're saying. I'm gonna go find them.
Hey Reniki, how you doing? Welcome, welcome.
Reniki!
Can they hear us?
Welcome. I think if we're on my stream, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's here. How are you?
Yeah. How you doing?
You listen, I just died.
Yeah. No, we're just hanging out. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the cart.
Yeah. Yeah, something tells me they're gonna be like, "You want to go in?" And they're like, "No, not really."
Like,
And
we're
then,
outta here, buddy.
"All right, we're going." Reading a lot. Oh, you've been reading. What have you been reading? Games where the fuse box starts on, every room starts 16 degrees, but when the fuse box is off, every room starts at 6 degrees. It becomes colder while the others become hotter. Interesting.
Oh, that turns on when we walk past. That's kind of fun.
Oh.
They are here. Yes.
So it's a strat to turn off the fuse box, see, and then turn it back on again. Interesting.
Wraith, it's not a phantom. I don't think it's a
Yeah, it's not a voice for sure.
I doubt it's a spirit. That just
Oh, we do have a. Oh yeah, you did say we had a spirit box. Duh. What else do we have available to us?
It definitely doesn't look like one.
No, when you open the door, the tippers are already set.
Just how things go.
I want to throw something at them.
So it's far too late.
It could be okay.
Yeah. Oh, I know what we can do.
could
With
be
the head
okay.
cameras, we can have dots and then have someone stare at the dots. Nice. Now it's your turn to scare them.
Now I'm the
We
ghost.
couldn't
I was
get
the
the
ghost
dots
all
up and
along.
So that is a possibility.
Put down the vase. I did, Meowie. I put it down.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, how? I wonder how we're supposed to get that, but with the head cans.
My audio
So I
is
think-
so fucked.
Okay, did you see if he was fast or not? I'm not
Hi, Melon.
It was kind
Hello,
of flickering.
princess.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why my audio
Yeah,
is so
that's-
weird today.
Not really, because I think they all do that.
It could be a mimic.
Could be,
I'm so
but you would.
interested to see what they pick.
I think it's
The mimic?
mimic. You would
Where do we
need
get-
to determine ghost
got
orbs
one.
when there shouldn't be
It's
ghost
not-
orbs, right?
Hello.
Yeah, it's not the Degons. That's
We're
the
playing
problem
some
I was asking if
Phasmo.
you-
Touching this might be a bad idea. Finally, proof of a ghost.
Oh,
he did
I
get a
can.
picture.
Okay, do you know
Nice.
how they are doing stuff? That's the...
Ooh. Caw!
No, he took the vase. He took the vase.
So at this point, it looks like it's down to 4.
I
no,
We were just
5.
messing with Bappy.
I give it you back. And throw stuff. I don't know what all this thing do, so I don't know if
I was still trying to find something.
I'm doing it.
I
All
know.
right. I was supposed to. I was just
actually
trying to
been
find
cooking.
it. It wasn't my fault that I died immediately as soon as I found them. Kinda. I
Hi, Dark.
I have natural born aggro. I can't do anything
Oh, I
about
thought
that.
you
Because we did get a spirit box.
Here, paranormal
Actually,
sounds. Ooh. So we really do like the parabolic microphone right now.
For your Kai. I don't know if we have to go for the same. I don't think. I will go for your Kai.
What about?
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Oh, I think that's because I accidentally clicked it first.
Choose one.
Oh, I hate
Box.
that
Did
one.
they find it in the ghost room? I think so. Yeah.
I actually hate that one.
I think they did. I think Ella did see that. Do that in the attic. It can be twins. Ooh. Yokai, of course.
Yokai.
Classic yokai. Am I right?
You got it.
Totally.
Nice.
Two.
Nice,
Congrats, you've passed
nice,
your Kai.
nice.
Good job. I said spirit because it got super pissed as soon as we got near it. So
Oh, yeah.
I said a mimic because it seemed to be I couldn't tell what it was doing.
what was
I saw it.
yokai?
I
Yokai.
saw it.
Spirit box, ghost orb, dots protect. Yeah.
It got me good,
Yeah,
like
this is
right
good.
after.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh,
Is the
look at
Thay?
that. Black
But I
as
thought
die.
spirit was
There
it
we
gets
go.
super great. They defend their place of death, the utmost degree, killing anyone that is caught overstaying the welcome. As soon as we got over there, they got really mad. So I assumed.
I'm throwing us back into amateur.
Go ahead.
We can. We get back in it just to get all the easy stuff. Okay, got you both living on my screen now.
Yeah,
Yay! Hi, Sleep.
overstaying, exactly.
Ooh, I'm getting in and out on my lunch break, hearing my friends' voices during that. Heck yeah! Oh, I love that.
Oh, interesting. I just assumed it was territorial. That was the way of saying it. And then the
Which map do
Fae.
we want to do?
The
Hi,
Fae.
Dan. So dark.
Upon entry, it will become active and
Yeah,
defensive.
screw the
You're
bug.
right. It would have been the Fae. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I assumed you were going to be right. It was more or less, I read spirits and I'm like, that sounds good enough, and then I chose it.
Vote for the first one. Whatever. And ready? I said for us.
Hey, Dark, how you doing?
Let's see.
All right, what are we doing? What are we doing now? We're going back to Tanglewood. The one we did well and got right, and the very first level at the very easy.
My audio is so bad. Thank you for the stretch team. Clown, you're right here.
Well, honestly, I also need a stretch. I'm currently sitting on luggage.
Yep.
Actually, yeah,
I was about to
stretch
say,
break, good
I'm just
idea.
going to say that collectively, but
I don't know why my audio is so freaky right now.
Oi. All right.
From carrying all of you. Just kidding.
Didn't you die last time?
I died right after you.
Yeah.
And I died the time before that.
Yeah,
And I died the time
who
before that.
survived
Yeah.
the last one?
Listen, I don't know. I think Bappy was the only one that got it right last time. So
Yeah. So I guess
So he's the one
he's the
carrying
carry. Yeah.
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 All right.
That's weird, but
Quick ads while we're
Bappy the
loading.
carry.
that's weird to admit.
Hold on, I gotta fix. I just accidentally messed up my cords. How did I do that?
I am stretching.
Get her ass! Don't encourage them, Yowie.
I tend to die first because this game, like mini games, I pull aggro. It's just a thing. It doesn't matter if I'm playing Ark. It doesn't matter if I'm playing
We see
anything that hunts you likes to hunt me. So it's part of the. It's part of it.
Journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little column A, a little column B. Actually, I'm a support main. I was a white mage main in Final Fantasy XIV.
FF14.
Oh,
Granted, that isn't where my love was. My love was that I was an Omnicrafter, and I made all the gear for my friends.
Oh, over Nikki. That's very sweet. Omnicrafters are like the greatest. They carry the weight of the FF.
Melon! Melon knows.
then there's players
Hey,
like
mage mains.
Zelda and I who just play the game.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
we're gonna get you guys through Shadowbringers. You guys are gonna do great.
Yeah!
Things, little sprouts.
Yeah.
We love our sprout friends.
I haven't
We
touched
just need
it.
to swap servers.
I haven't touched it in
Yeah,
years,
well,
though.
Sargatanas is like pretty heavy pro gamers, and
That too, detective.
we're gonna get you guys
Yeah,
there.
didn't know that. So,
No, I started on Sarg too.
yeah. So I need to move.
Yeah, Meowie and I raid together. We're raiders.
Really?
At this point, I usually
Ah.
do either Sam or Monk.
Mm-hmm.
DPS. Don't let me tank. Don't let me heal. I suck at
Gotta
that.
move my bones.
So-
Yeah, Dark. I feel that.
Yeah, this is Final Fantasy XIV.
Go back to 14. Fun time. Yeah, honestly, we should all play 14 together. That would be so much fun.
Well, once we
Meowie
get
as
the
a
money
melee
to swap
main.
servers, we will.
Listen.
Yeah, we would have to figure out which server.
Yeah. Well, we could always. The nice thing is we could always, world travel. That's the nice thing.
That's
We
true.
can go anywhere now. All right, I'm ready. I got us all some goodies. I'm a summoner main and a white mage main, but mostly
I
summoner.
started with Summoner.
I love summoner. It is one of the weakest classes, but I don't care. I love
Do
my
you
summoner.
use dots? Just a genuine question.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Of course. I use my addle, baby.
You say of course, but we've had
Listen.
conversations.
We are
in the
on
past.
the end of the final fight in the current Savage tier, so we're almost done with this tier. It's been a mess, but it's good. We're getting there. Yeah, in M8. Yeah. Collecting turtles in actually 8 right now. Read together.
I think we are just
And
aiming
also
for a
incredible
win
writing.
detective. And so I think we're just doing amateur to get a win under our belt.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Renee.
The fuse
Also, I
box
think
starts
it
on.
resets, so we gotta ready up.
Oh,
I have been
I'm totally looking to play harder
Oh, this
content.
is a count.
Yes, we should all go like mount farming. Do all the crazy EX fights. They're very fun.
It is a fun game where if you essentially have all the raid mechanics down, it's just a vibe. Everyone's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
It's fun.
shooting the shit, and then
Very
just
distinct.
roll the dice.
Yeah. Eclectic and Devil are goats. It's true. They are probably some of the best healers I have ever met in my.
Well, you haven't raided with me.
Well, then when do we raid?
Yeah.
Maggie Liz?
Well, first of all, I haven't played the game in a couple years. It's gonna take a hot minute to get back
Oh,
up.
Oh, he's gotta ease back
Wait,
into
went?
it. All right.
We went back in a normal mission.
What?
Yeah, we
we're
went to the
back
normal one.
normal, but
Yeah.
We're
Oh.
going easy mode just to.
Oh,
get
we
you
forgot
back.
flashlights.
Easy mode.
For the big,
Oh, I forgot to put those in.
I got one.
I got all the
And-
normal.
Okay,
Capture
well,
video. We don't even have a video recorder. Oh man, this is. the
maybe we
best.
can do professional next round.
Yeah.
Have memory witness a ghost event. Have memory escape ghost during a hunt and capture a video of a ghost. Fun.
What's that?
We'll do.
I have
Oh,
a
there's
cam.
nothing there. Okay, I'm just gonna
does it work?
yoink.
I cannot put it.
Oh, the little dots. This is so cute. All right, we literally.
Okay. All right, we'll try professional next round and see how it goes. Let's see. Nothing. And I'll do what you suggest and turn on the lights, I guess. Oh, God. Oh.
I never got the time.
No, it's definitely a big time commitment.
I feel like
I like closing the doors because
a
in
lot of time.
when the ghosts that like to open doors, if it's cracked, that means I know
And I play
something.
another MMO, so
Which one do you play?
I played for.
You know,
time,
okay.
online.
Alright, found the blood mess.
Take a picture of it before you interact with it.
I don't have a camera.
Oh. Never mind then.
Anybody got a camera?
Anybody got a camera?
No, but I found the Ouija.
Oh, nice. Ask where it is.
Someone should have picked up the flashlight.
I have.
I think I have the camera. Okay, Boppy, then go to the garage.
Where's the Ouija?
It's right here.
Have you used it yet? Have you used it before?
What do I
No,
do?
But I
You
figured
can ask it questions like where it is.
Wait, hold on.
Boppy, just right click for picture. Where? On what? On the camera. I think you have the video camera. I don't think you have the normal camera. Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do know about the goodbye thing.
Whoa. Hello. Oh my gosh, Sugar, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, I have the video
Yay.
camera.
Oh, we hit our follower goal. Wait, that means we officially
Oh,
unlocked the
Hell
first
yeah.
Halloween. Ah! Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
Yay!
Oh, well.
Thank you. Well
All right.
Sorry my audio's so messed up.
Okay. Where are you? M-A-S. I think master bedroom. Master bedroom. I need to say
Oh, yeah.
goodbye to it since I asked the question, but y'all can go ahead.
Yay, Sugar!
Oh,
thank
I already.
you.
Okay, cool. It went through.
Yes, I love them.
All right, let Ella do their thing.
Hit that, yeah.
Do streamer things. Master bedroom. Master bedroom.
Where is your master bedroom?
I think this is the master
This
bedroom.
one?
Yeah. This is what I'm assuming what it is.
Ghost orb. I found. What?
Oh,
We have ghost orb. What
Okay.
I
does
will
that mean?
set up for the new emote to go through.
that is spirit
What does
box.
Okay, so we have spirit box.
Is anybody in here?
Can you write in this book? Write in the journal, pretty please.
Wait, elderly individual.
I don't
Got
think it gives us
elderly
hint.
individual on the radio.
For all I know, maybe it does.
Okay.
Give us a sign.
We're EMF 4.
Were you old?
Okay, we got spirit box.
An elderly victim.
Oh.
An elderly victim, spirit box.
Oh.
No, he's hunting, he's hunting, he's hunting.
Whew. Or was that just... Okay. It's fine. It's fine, guy. Oh.
Someone is dead.
Can you write in the journal?
Yeah,
I wonder who died.
I heard that.
Hmm. Interesting. A dead body.
Make it.
And
I
you
only
being
hit
alive.
4.
Interesting.
I only hit EMF 4, I never hit 5.
Okay.
If it never hit 5, then I think we're...
Ooh.
Then I think we're okay.
Ghost talk, yeah.
Give us a sign.
Can I put
I
this?
guess killing...
Activity level 8 right now. Oh, you are 1% sanity.
Oh,
Ideally.
are you seeing?
You are 1% sanity.
It just threw the laptop at me. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
There you are, 30%,
All right.
so you're fine. Kinda.
Unless it's clown throwing stuff again.
No, that was not that.
Hello?
Hi. Ooh.
I told you on the radio.
Ooh. Well, I'm 0. But I was the one interacting with the spirit board. So,
I just got
I probably got a hit from this.
Oh.
Hello?
Well, looks like it's just us, champ. Like, I think that's,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's recap. We got spirit box. We did not got temperature.
I don't think it was ghostwriting. We didn't bring pills. What do you mean, detective? We're broke.
Yeah, if we go like it was not level 5, not EMF, not ghostwriting, not freezing. and spirit box, it leave us with Phantom and Yokai.
Phantom was... Hold on. Phantom... Is that the one that throws? Looking at Phantom will drop your sanity considerably faster. Taking a photo of the Phantom will make it typical. Oh, okay.
Oh, it could
No.
be the Phantom because my sanity like look what if dropped from 20 to 5% from nowhere
Mm-hmm.
when I was here.
Okay.
Pink.
What-
Wait.
Let's see here. I don't think... yeah. I don't think it was ultraviolet. I don't think it was EMF 5.
But
I don't
did
think it
not
was
look at
ghostwriting.
Yeah.
Yokai or Onryo? Hold on. Yokai. Usually be found in hunting family homes. That we are at a family home. Talking to, will anger at green chase to
I
attack.
did not look at it. That's what is weird. Oh, thank you, Trey, for the pizza.
We checked for EMF and I checked for ultraviolet and ghostwriting. What do you mean? I checked for all these. Or we checked for all these. These two I checked. Dots and Ghost Orb, I never looked. Let's see here. What was Onryo? Well, we're just kind of going off of it, my guy. Are we at our sanity? We're just gonna go in and die. This ghost is any form of fire. Will do anything from it. The flame is caused on your attack. When threatened, the ghost will be likely to hunt. I'm gonna go for Yokai.
Okay, I'm going for Phantom. So,
You're going Phantom? Okay.
okay. Okay. I hope work was good tweet.
Man, of course, that was my second choice. Yes. Frick, why would it have been Mare?
I died so fast.
You did.
But I got some money.
What do you
All
mean
right,
you
hold on.
died fast?
We died fast.
Mare. So Mare, Spirit Box, Ghost Orbs, Ghost Writing. So it was Ghost Writing. Oh. It didn't want to write.
Oh, hello.
It was off killing people instead. It did not want to write.
Right?
Eh. We gave it as much time as we were able.
I'm getting us flashlights. Buying us so many flashlights.
I was there for a solid while, Detective. Chill. We were dealing with the information that we had at the time. We certainly couldn't have waited in the house any longer with our low sanity.
Okay. And then I think we need to buy.
A Mare can have increased chance to attack in the dark. Turning on the lights around the Mare will lower the chance to attack. Gotcha.
This. Oh, we can only have 3. Okay.
Okay, flashlight.
I got us all flashlights.
Oh, okay.
All right,
like
cool.
All of them.
I bought us all flashlights. I bought us all cameras. I loaded us up.
You are witch.
Everything but
You
the
are
video.
sugar. You are the sugar mommy.
I got you. I'm the sugar mummy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I got like I could do like 2 more and then I have to run.
Okay.
Understandable.
Understandable. Which one do you want to do then?
I know. I'm happy as long as we're doing the red ones.
Hey,
I'm
Axel,
happy.
how you doing?
Yeah.
So,
Let's do Edgefield Road then.
oh yeah. And then ready up.
There you go. Thanks, Detective. We will certainly have fun.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell, look at that. So much more.
Detective goes presence
better.
in the motion sensor. Capture a photo successful. Reading EMF. Okay, so I'll grab. Did someone already grab EMF? Let's see.
I got camera and I got EMF.
Okay. Okay, hold on. If you're doing that, then
Detective
I
goes to the
will.
motion sensor, capture a photo of any successful
Okay.
reading on an EMF and
I
prevent
got
the ghost hunting.
some
I'll do
First
voice
measure.
box and journal then.
And
Here we go.
Okay, who is this? Becky.
Okay.
Hey, Becky, how are you doing? Any? Oh. What? Where are you, Becky?
Anything in baby room.
Oh. Does that one have a camera?
Oh, what?
I have a
Ups-
camera, yes.
Upstairs, we have a blood moon.
The camera that film or the camera that take picture?
I just took a picture.
Thank you.
okay. Okay, that was the one.
Oh, perfect.
Picture.
I already got it.
Becky, are you around?
That later.
Give us a sign. Where are you, Becky?
How many people sleep in that bed?
Becky, are you near? Did I go in this room? I probably did. I probably looped back around, didn't I? Are you close? Are you in the living room? Okay. Are you in the bedroom? No. Are you in the bathroom? No. Are you in the kitchen, Becky?
I found a voodoo doll.
Oh, nice. You could poke it if you want.
Stairs?
I saw that. Are you in the garage, Becky? Are you working on the car? Becky, are you here?
Nothing in.
There's nothing in the basement, actually.
Oh,
Oh, it's in the basement.
He's hunting. Oh, he's here, he's here.
Someone died. I don't know what died. I think Idealist died.
What did I do wrong that time?
I think
Oh, I
Idealist
did say
died.
a lot of Becky.
Who just died?
Idealist. He died, like, he was coming from the basement, I think. The ghost. He died,
That's
like,
wild.
in front of the
I literally looked at the stairs and died.
He died in front of the basement, and I think he came back from the basement.
Absolutely wild.
Hello.
Hello.
I did use the voodoo doll, so I wonder if I killed him.
Oh, ghost orb, ghost orb,
Got it?
ghost orb. So we got dead box.
What?
Where do you see? You got it on your camera?
Yeah, on the camera, right there.
Okay. Evidence. Ghost orb for sure.
Ghost orb for
oh,
sure.
Haunting. Move,
Oh.
move, move.
Oh no!
Oh.
No! It's a me! It's a me! It's a me!
It's a me. It's a me. It's a me.
It's a me.
Oh, Beppy, no. Oh, Beppy.
Oh, look, it's a you.
Why are we throwing shit?
You know that I just discovered that ghost orb is not spirit box. I took when you see ghost orb, it was spirit box.
Yeah. That. Oh, what?
Oh,
Okay. Okay. A spirit box just happened.
Yeah, we have some.
Oh. Oh, what is that? Oh,
Old
he's
woman.
Flying, kinda.
It-
He's flying, I think.
Is she?
I don't know. Did I have something?
I find it very unfair that I opened the basement door and then died immediately.
We ever got
Wait.
EMF5.
Who is hiding?
Ella?
Oh yeah. I have something. If she leave, I throw it.
Mare,
Well,
you're
let's
fine.
get
Oh, yeah.
outside before we try to...
I'm very down for this.
Hey, going.
Oh, she didn't see it.
Oh!
I'm being hunted still.
Oh,
Get out!
he's dead. Maybe.
The door is locked! I'm dead.
What is it?
Oh yeah, she's dead.
Oh yeah.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
This is-
I'm dead. Goodbye, my friend.
Mare, Yokai, and Onryo. Let's see here. Mare.
Hello?
Okay, have a good luck, please. Hello.
Hello. Yokai, Onryo. Oh, you have the sound bug. We might have to step out and step back in.
Well,
Hello?
Okay.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, I hear you better.
Okay, it's.
oh,
Okay, I'm
he
just gonna
started.
I guess I'll just do Mare.
pick Yokai, Mare, or Onryo.
I'll say Mare is what I'm aiming for. And I've always been right. Am I right, game? Hey, let's go. It was Mare. If only Detective could have seen me actually be good.
No.
And by that I mean
Oh,
die
you did
immediately.
great. We saw it.
It was very funny, me opening the basement door. The ghost was right
Yeah.
there, and I just died.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Okay,
I
last
saw him
one
going for you, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
Do one of-
listen.
one of
I
the-
wasn't lying about the aggro. Alright, last one. Which one do you want to do?
I picked Grafton, but I'm up for any of them. I'm giving us
Grafton?
more goodies.
Okay, Grafton.
Bye.
Okay.
Flashlight. Dots. Bye. Spirit box. Bye. UV light. Bye. Thermometer. Okay.
Zelda saying, don't die. Yeah, that's
What is
That's what we
that's
are
some
trying
peak
to do.
advice.
I didn't.
And you didn't. That is so true. All right. I think I'm ready. There we go. I gave us some goodies.
Hell yeah.
Everyone will have a flashlight.
Yeah. Sugar mama, sugar
That
mama.
was so spicy. Time to work on the pizza. Pizza sounds good.
Oh, that's pizza for my on my actual
Ooh,
pizza art,
sounds
not
yum.
real pizza.
We did get it right, Zelda.
Wait, they did. Me too, Axel.
I did not.
Are you still having the hankering
Why
for
not?
the grilled cheese?
Yes. Like
Then
grilled
just
cheese
get-
ever since you said that.
Just get some grilled cheese. Just
Okay,
make
here's the thing.
some.
I want pizza. I want a grilled cheese. I am lactose intolerant.
Oh.
You can-
No.
Just
I
do
know
what
they make
every other
cheese
lactose
that
intolerant
tastes
person
hot.
does, which is
love
eat it
cheese.
anyway.
The cheese doesn't love me.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, I really love coconut and pineapple, and I'm allergic to both.
So,
Oh,
do you just love things
Oh.
that hate you back? Like, what's going on
It's
here?
just-
Fuck.
It's just how cruel fate of the world.
We
start
all.
the pizza time. That's what
To
you
make the
started.
cheese love you. I'm trying so hard.
Yes, you
God
did,
damn
Zelda, and it
it.
was very good.
Takes the
Very
cheese, love you.
sweet. Zelda the best.
No.
Right? It was
I
a
know,
good
he said
Uh,
no.
Bappy, whenever you're ready.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It
No,
did.
never pineapple on pizza.
It's pizza time.
That's the one thing I'm happy about being allergic to pineapple. Is I
I'm-
never can try it on pizza, so I don't have an opinion on it.
I have no dog in this fight.
Big stuff. I know some people like fish on their pizza. I know some people like, you know.
I'm not allowed to have an opinion on pizza.
I'm nervous about that statement, but go on.
So I have a handful of cursed food takes. So
Okay.
mine has to come with
I
a
gotta
story
hear
because if
these.
I don't, y'all are gonna crucify me at the stake.
I mean, you can be an offering to the ghost, yeah.
So first the statement, which is I take my cheese off.
You take cheese off the pizza?
Yeah.
No more talking. No more
Oh,
off. No more.
okay. You won't get to know the story then.
Please go on.
No, no, you don't get to know.
Hear this.
No. Okay.
I
So,
won.
I respect it.
all right, I'll do it over here so that way as we move apart we can still hear it. So basically what happened was when I was younger, we ordered pizza from an undisclosed pizza location.
Right.
And I got really ill.
Oh no.
Like I wrote off pizza entirely for years. Like I got very food sick. And then one time, we were at a family friend's house, and they were like, "Hey," and they forgot that I didn't like pizza. Oh, over here in the back room, if you have a camera. And so my mom was like, "Look, it's been years. It's fine. Like you should give it another shot." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll give another shot if I could take the pizza off." And she was like, "Sure." I tried it. It was fine. So I just eat pizza with the cheese off from now on. It tastes
Okay.
fine, but whenever I eat it, I get sick to my stomach. So
Oh.
that's the reality of it.
That's trauma right there.
Yeah, I have a handful
I
of those.
completely understand.
See, that makes it a valid take.
Yeah, I have a friend who is a Canadian that tried to convince me once that putting maple syrup on your pizza is a good idea, and I'm like,
I can kind of see the sweet in
I'm totally the one who will try that.
Oh my god, I just caught a picture of that being thrown at Clown.
Oh, that's actually awesome. I can't wait to actually I can see that right now.
Oh, EMF 4?
It says value 0. I disagree.
I'm going back between 3 and 4 in the main dining hall.
Main dining hall. All right, on my way.
I'm not gonna lie, maple syrup on pizza looks right.
See, I'm not a mustard guy. I'm not a mustard guy.
I want to play Dead by Daylight, yes.
Oh, it's on sale by the way.
Yeah, it's only like $7.
Yeah, it's only $7 right now. I'm willing to play Dead by Daylight with people. I don't think I would ever do it with randoms.
It's very fun with friends. I would love to play Dead by with you.
Oh, easy.
Well, am I about to die?
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm getting something.
Okay. All right.
I saw a ghost spawning. It's
I did too. I think I got a picture of it.
Living room?
Definitely living room
Not dining room. Living room.
or dining room.
I saw exactly. Yeah, he spawned right there.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was scary.
Want to say something to us?
Can you write in the journal?
But Maple, Renicky, you're so right though. We all roasted him for his opinion of it too. So you're
I actually think Maple's actually pretty. I think that it's not as bad as y'all are making it.
Yes, they do, Zelda. Oh.
Do we have a
I'm gonna-
thermometer? I keep getting cold.
I do not.
I
Temperature.
don't have one.
I'm gonna grab
I'm gonna go to the truck to grab
yeah.
one.
I have the thing.
I'm gonna grab something.
I have the thing for the temperature, but it does not go below 0. It's 1 degree right now.
Let me get some practice with her. Ooh,
I need everyone left
Renicky.
right now.
I think I got past easy masters. Heck yeah. That means you're cooking. Okay.
When it says freezing temperature,
What did we get? Oh, I
'Kay.
didn't get pictures of the. Dang it. Okay.
Do we have video camera in there?
No, I have just normal camera.
Where's video camera? Oh, is that not added automatically? I thought video
we
camera
brought
was.
one.
Okay, I'm gonna do dots then.
I don't get temperature. I don't think that's. I don't think there is freezing temperature.
Hi.
Hi. I don't think there's freezing temperature.
Okay.
Because there's nothing going below 0.
But if we have zero camera, we can't tell orbs.
I have the camera. I have it.
A video camera? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, that was definitely orbs.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
It likes to spook. All right, it likes to spook. Something to note.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna die again, probably. Ooh. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's another spook.
It's haunting a lot though.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's not hunting. It's spooking.
I don't see the orb.
All right. I don't think it's journaling.
Yet.
There it is. Get me out of the window! Well,
It just killed someone. I think Bappy?
wasn't me.
I think Bappy just died. Oh my god. We're not getting anything on dots or, book.
I don't think it's this. I don't think it's.
I think it's.
radar.
I think orbs, maybe. But we'll see. Oh. Hey, how's everything going over here? Oh my god! How did this happen? Oh man, that's crazy! Man, the first time I don't die, that's wild. Or the first time I don't die first, that's wild. Alright, let's see.
I'm trying to open the door for her and she dies.
Yeah, unfortunately, goats refuse to let that happen.
Yep.
Open a door for someone? That's crazy.
We've actually seen the ghost.
We've seen the ghost, true. Granted, I didn't have any camera, so I couldn't take pictures of it. I thought I saw dots, but it seemed to just kind of have a misty body anyway, so it might have been a false.
I did see at one point some corporeal.
Yeah.
It was typical what you'd expect of like an Unreal. White dress, black hair.
Right.
But in this game, that seems to be...
Yeah, I think I don't think this game treats it in the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, it just threw the damn camera. Hey, Marble. Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna say hi to everybody.
Hey,
Sure. Somebody got up from a nap.
Would you say it was territorial?
I would say it's territorial. I also think it wasn't immediate, but I do think it did. This is one of the things where it got more and more territorial over time, so we might be dealing with a spirit. Do we have any evidence at all?
No. Not to my knowledge.
I didn't see any ghostwriting. Who knows how long that's supposed to take? I'm not seeing any dots. I saw a corporeal form, but I don't know if that's because of dots or because that's just the way it is. How's our sanity? Oh, yours not bad. I'm gonna die if I go in there.
Yes, you are.
It is interesting that my sanity is lower. But have you been out here?
Seen it twice.
Right.
So I don't know how
okay.
my sanity is.
Do you want to try Spirit Box?
We could. So I'm looking at different ghost types.
Right.
One of them says taking on many forms.
Right, that's the mimic, right?
No, that's the Obake.
Oh.
Or whatever.
Right, I think it's
mimic,
Obake.
It says that we just have no idea what it does.
Right.
It mirrors traits and behaviors from others.
Mm-hmm.
For the mimic. It could be. I could see it being that because I saw it in two different ways. This form and a corporeal.
Right. Unique evidence. I don't know. But I think I think if there's any other more evidence that we can get, I think it's up to you as far as which one you're willing to do.
Well,
I can keep an eye on at least on the dots, but I'm not seeing anything so far. Or we can call it here. All up to you. Because if I go in, he's going to shut the door and I'm going to die.
yeah. Well, if I go in, they're probably going to shut the door. And I'm going to die.
You know what? You know what that means, right? We're both going to go in. And then only one of us has to die.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins! I'm going to find this UV. Hello, I'm back. Are you territorial? Haha. Or are you just happy to see me? Actually, they seem to have calmed down. Maybe it's because we stepped away for a hot minute. Oh, there we go. I was like, why is it so dark? Oh, Spirit Box. Let's do that. Where are you? Still no journal. Oh, found it. Oh, pff, get that out of here. All right. Are you near? Give us a sign. Do you enjoy the blood moon? Do you enjoy the regular moon? No even response for that one.
Do you enjoy the sun?
Yeah, do you enjoy the sun? Nothing. Are you
Do anything to us?
right? Are you a morning person or night person?
Oh, they didn't like that.
They did not like
They
that.
really didn't like that. Oh, they should.
I went a bad way. Well, hey, was the door unlocked? Just checking. Is that a dang it? Well, that's another successful hunt if I've ever seen one. All right, everybody, time to pack up. Exactly what we're going to do. Did I hear an ice cream truck? Weird. I'm gonna go with Spirit. But I'm basing that off of just us overstaying our welcome in its area and it being mad at me for it. And that's about it. No other indications otherwise. Oh, Marble! Marble, no! I'm gonna go before Marble. Okay, we're leaving. It's a they. It's a they them.
It was
Yes.
exactly what we were not thinking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was they?
It looks like a Fae. Let's see. The very last one. Ghost orb, ghost writing. Never saw it do ghost
Oh,
writing.
but
Never
we
saw it
were.
in dots.
That's this. It's the same thing twice now. Where I was like, I think it's a spirit, and they're just like, no, it was
Yeah.
definitely a they.
That was a rough one.
But it wasn't aggressive immediately.
And there
We
was
were
no
there for a
Ghost Orb, because you
while.
can find Ghost Orb too.
Oh, were we
Yeah,
still?
that was
Oh, I
weird.
wonder because if it was amateur, were we still in the like grace period at the time?
Doesn't start for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Or
Yeah,
something.
5 minutes. So maybe the 5 minutes went up, and then
No.
immediately was just like, "You sons of a bitches,
No.
you've been in this for so long." It might have been that. It might have been that. If
Aw,
so,
but
it would.
still,
It should have been
I-
that.
The
That
fact that I
was
saw it twice in 2 different forms is what got me.
Toast, thank you for the hydrate redeem.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm assuming you need to go, Ella.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
you
I
said
gotta.
that was
I'm
it.
gonna hop off call, but I have to debut the new emote that we've unlocked for the first tier goal for Halloween.
Ooh. Okay.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate collabing. I think I'm collabing with some of you tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe
Ooh,
so.
Thank you for the follow. Hi, Tree.
Oh,
I think
So I will
thank you
see
for the follow as well,
Tree.
Tree.
Yeah, I am Tree. Thank you for the follow.
I'm gonna hop back on Discord. I'll talk to you guys on there before.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Back
unmute on
on
Discord.
over.
Yeah.
All right.
Leave the
In that case,
game.
I'm gonna leave game. All right. See y'all. Boop. There we
Ooh,
go.
Too spooky sometimes. Let me fix my audio.
Okay. Audio spooked.
Output. Okay.
Why did I say that? Audio's back to
Turn
normal.
everyone down, yes.
Why did I say audio spooked? That didn't make any
audio
sense.
back.
Huzzah! Audio back.
Huzzah!
Okay.
Yay.
I thank you guys so much for being a part of Halloween and
No!
streaming with me and collabing.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate-
Yay, thank you for
Yeah.
the invitation.
Yeah. Thanks for having
And
us.
Yeah.
I'll see ya tomorrow. I'm gonna
All
wrap
right.
up, but I'll see ya soon.
All right. See you then.
Bye.
See
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Bye.
All right, guys. We are also going to call it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to raid Ella because they're going to keep going, but I'm going to call it off here. I'll be making the charity goals actually look good. And I'm glad that we were able to go through and announce that this time. So we're going to raid Ella, and then we will be seeing them tomorrow as well for some repo. So look forward to that. All right. So we will be going through the process. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, take care. See you in a bit. We're raiding. Bye-bye.